Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Thursday, November 14th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $, ORIONNWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got Thursday night football. I've had this one circled on the calendar for months. The Washington Commanders, their first primetime game in 2024 versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Jayden Daniels, the phenom, the Lamar Jackson of the NFC versus Jalen Hurts, one of the OG studs in the NFC. This should be very, very good. A battle for the NFC East crown. Let's go. Let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get ready for an amazing game. And this is going to be one of the better games on Thursday night, I believe, with the Washington Commanders going against the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's go. And we should have probably had Washington circled on more primetime matchups, but they probably didn't really know, if Jayden Daniels was going to be Jayden Daniels. And, seeing what he's been able to do within the first, couple months of the season, I almost kind of wish we would have had them on a few more opportunities on like Monday night or Sunday night. But, this is where we're at, and better late than never. And what a better way to be able to showcase, the Washington Commanders with Jayden Daniels going against a foe right at the top of the division in the NFC East in the Philadelphia Eagles. I couldn't ask for a better matchup between these two quality teams in the NFC. They both have their future quarterbacks for many, many years. Obviously, the Eagles' defense is much improved with Vic Fangio. They used to be one of the worst defenses in the league a couple years ago, last year as well. This year, they're at the top, and it definitely shows. And these two teams are going to battle it out for the divisional crown. But one thing is for sure, both teams are going to end up going to the playoffs. The real question is who's going to be the wild card team and who's going to be the team that wins the division. And at this point, I don't think we really have an answer just yet. Let's go. I'm ready. Reflect first in the building. What's good, my guy? I'm ready. Missed you, man. Hopefully you've had a good day. It's been a little rainy and overcast. Me and Paisley already went on 2 long walks. We'll get one long one in after this. But again, I wish we were able to do a little bit more of the Commanders, but better late than never. And this is their first primetime game. But I'm glad that we're getting Washington versus the Eagles, not Washington versus the Giants or Washington versus the Cowboys. And normally Washington and Dallas would typically be good, if Dak was obviously still playing and, the defense wasn't so bad. And, Dallas obviously has all these issues with their team right now. But again, Philly, Washington, Philly, buckle up. This should be a good one. And we shouldn't really have to worry about a low-scoring affair, you would think. I mean, I would assume that at some point it is going to end up turning into a defensive battle, a couple 3-and-outs. There might be some fumbles and some picks, sack lunches, some punch-outs. But again, to be able to really break down the film and watch Jayden Daniels, on film, up close and personal, I'm very excited about that. And again, Washington is one of those teams that was kind of like Tampa Bay prior to Brady, kind of like the Detroit Lions, one of those kind of lovable loser type of teams where you just knew that at some point, if they could just get Daniel Snyder to sell the team, they could get the right coach and quarterback, maybe that they could actually change, the overall aura and the persona of this team. And I think the Redskin fans, which went to the Washington football team and now the Commanders, this team has been in hell for many, many years. It went back when they had obviously a good time, right? When they had John Riggins, when they ended up having Mark Rippon, when you ended up, going through these moments where they were one of the best teams with the Hogs, that offensive line up front. But let's be honest, since 1991, there really hasn't been a whole lot to root for after that Mark Rippon era and that Super Bowl that they ended up having, right? So it's kind of nice that we finally got to see Tampa climb to the top. The Lions look like they're climbing to the top, and they may end up representing the NFC this year. And now we have another team that normally is dead last in the division or maybe third, has a chance to end up getting first or second. And I'm all for it. And again, you have to look at the coach, you have to look at the quarterback, look at the supporting cast, and everything is starting to come together. But it all started with Daniel Snyder having to be able to sell the team and pushing him out. And it shows you Dallas Cowboys, if you end up having a good owner with a good quarterback and obviously a team that believes in you, right? You can turn a team around essentially in 1 or 2 years. Some teams it's going to take 4, 5, 6, others 8, 9, 10 years. But again, Washington has been in football hell for a long, long time. So it's very cool to be able to see this team, being relevant again. And again, Jayden Daniels, whether you love the Commandos or you hate them, Jayden Daniels is the truth. It's must-see TV, just like Jalen Hurts on the other side for the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's go. I am ready. Sarah in the building. What's good? How are you? Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you guys haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We'll shoot for 20 within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall if we get the volume. And then obviously we'll be shooting for 100 in the donos on every single stream. Let's go. You got rain there? No flooding? Good. Yeah. Me and Paisley, we try to time it, based on the Weather Channel and obviously the little apps, and normally we're pretty good about it, but when we got to go, we got to go. And so even if it ends up, kind of coming down, we have to get out there and get at least a minimum 20-minute walk. That's going to be like our short walk. And then obviously our longer walks will be 30 minutes to an hour. But, I'm not going to have Paisley out there, getting soaked for an hour. That wouldn't be good for her. So usually we try to limit our time out there. So, but I'm excited about this particular matchup. And then tomorrow we got the Huskies and the Bruins on top of the Mike Tyson and the Paul fight. So obviously there's many boxing matches that are leading up to Tyson and Paul. I think it starts at 5 Pacific, but around the time where things are going to be getting good with the Huskies and the Bruins, obviously the Mike Tyson fight is on Netflix. Most of y'all have Netflix as well. So I'm actually going to double dip. So I'll end up doing the Washington game as a stream, but we also will be watching at the same time that Tyson fight, because obviously I'm not really too interested in a lot of the other pre-fights leading up to the Tyson fight. But again, even Tyson as an old man, that's still going to be a draw, because again, lots of people have love and respect for Tyson, regardless if he's 50, 60, 70 years old. But with Paul, just like with his brother, not very likable. And I know there's a lot of people would love to be able to see him get knocked out. The age difference is almost comical. So you would assume, Tyson is going to possibly get beat up because of the age difference. But you never know. You never really know. One good shot to the chin can bring somebody down, and that'll be tomorrow at 5 o'clock Pacific for the Tyson fight. But we'll end up doing the Huskies versus the Bruins for Friday Night Football in the Big Ten. Then Saturday, we're going to do Oregon versus Wisconsin. Sunday, I believe we got the Chargers going against the Bengals. And then we're going to have the Texans and the Cowboys, if my memory serves me right. So definitely excited to be able to see what we got going on, not only today, but every single day leading up to Monday Night Football. Let's go, baby. Yeah. Well, Goldie obviously is better, on the mic than Sims. I know some people like Sims. Some people don't really care for him. I think that I don't know. I mean, as far as announcers are concerned, everyone is going to have their guy or guys, or if they have a female that's, in there, helping out with the routine. But Goldie obviously is the better, play-by-play type of guy. Sims gets to get, closer to family, and then he gets to go on the radio side, obviously for the Yankees, because they have one guy that's retiring there. So we'll see where it goes. But again, I think that, if I had to choose one or the other, I wish Sims the best, but Goldie is the one that we would want to obviously have moving forward. And it's pretty rare to have a younger guy that's in his 30s or 40s have such a good, unique voice and command of the mic that early, because normally when you hear baseball guys, they're typically 50, 60, 70 years old, and they've been doing it for a long, long time. But I feel with Goldie, for being one of the younger guys that does the play-by-play, I think he's one of the best in the MLB, and I really like him. So I wish Sims all the best. But again, he's moving on to the Yankee Radio Network, and we're going to have Goldie and a few others obviously paired up with him next season. Captain with a tenor. Let's go, baby. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. $10 holla. 90 to go to hit the goal. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I'm excited to be able to do the matchup tomorrow, the Huskies and the Bruins, and watch a little Tyson and Paul box it out on Netflix. Let's go. We're at 10, 90 to go. Let's go, baby. Me too, man. This is one of the better matchups on Thursday night. And I don't expect it to be low scoring, but I don't really know how high scoring of an affair it's going to be, but hopefully in the high 20s, low 30s. But again, with the defense of the Eagles, being one of the worst last year and now hiring Vic Fangio and being top 5, it might end up being a little bit lower scoring than we expect. But again, I should be pretty good here tonight. Let's go, baby. Michael in the building. What's good? Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's get it, baby. Manu's in the building. What's good? Fly, Eagles, fly. What would you would like to do for photos, Captain? Let me know, and I got you. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We're going to be shooting for 20 in that first hour, 30 to 50 overall, and 100 in the dope nose. We're at 10, 90 to go. Let's go, baby. And look at the Eagles and the Commandos. 7-2 Eagles, 2-0 in the division. 7-3 Commanders, 2-0 in the division. Something's got to give here tonight. Who's going to end up getting the dub? We'll have to wait and find out. All right, 3 more likes to be able to get to 10. 1 more like to be able to get to 10. 11 more to get to 20. And the faster that we can get to 20, we'll hit that algorithm. Let's go, baby. No problem, man. Obviously, I wouldn't miss it. I'm going to be doing pretty much every Thursday night, Monday night, Sunday night matchup. But definitely, this is one of the more anticipated matchups. 2 teams at the top of the division. 1 team that's been good for years. Another team that's been terrible for years, but got the right coach and right quarterback. And here we go. All right, Jalen. Let's see it, baby. All right, I got you. And no problem. Glad you're here. And I got you. All right, here we go. Jalen. Bounce to the outside. Ooh. Extra yak yards there. Nice play. Second down and 2. Shotgun set, pass incomplete to Saquon Barkley. Incomplete. 3rd down and 2. And obviously moving on from the Cowboys to the Eagles, Kellen Moore probably very, very happy. Same thing with Saquon Barkley, leaving an organization and then going to the better one in the division. And off to Saquon Barkley. First down, Eagles. Move the trains. And obviously, Philadelphia will be favored in this matchup, but I don't think anyone would be that surprised if the Commanders win. Obviously, it'll take a hell of an effort. Daniels would have to outplay Hurts, you would think, and the defense would have to play better than Philadelphia. And if they do, they're going to have a chance, but it will be a battle, at the line of scrimmage. And whoever wins the line of scrimmage is definitely going to have the advantage with the O-line and the D-line for Philadelphia and Washington. We got an offensive lineman injury here. Hopefully he's okay. Not a good look to have an injury that early on in the game already. Man, he's not putting a whole lot of weight on that. Landon Dickerson, Bama, 2-time Pro Bowler, and he's barely putting any weight on that. Let's see if Washington can capitalize off Tyler Steen now coming in. Another Alabama guy. First down and 10. After the injury, man in motion, Devontae Smith, Jalen, hands off. Saquon right up the gut. Runs into Bobby Wagner and a few others. Short gain. No laundry on the field. Cool kid in the building. What's good? Second down and 6, man in motion, shotgun set, Jalen, pump fake, looking, scrambling, gambling, floater towards the sideline, incomplete. See if I can squeeze in a few of these photos here real quick while we still got the action. 1 Bobby Wagner, 2 Bobby Wagners, 3 Bobby Wagners, and we'll get some Commandos and more Seahawk ones as well. Appreciate you. Yeah, plus it also shows people that, even though I'm not the biggest fan of the NBA, even though I do appreciate and I'm starting to, get more enjoyment out of the Blazers with Clingan and Shaedon Sharpe, with those two guys, with the passion and energy that we play with, especially in last night's game and Clingan's NBA glass that they gave away. I feel that, I might not like the NBA, first down, Eagles, but I do love the Blazers. And again, with Clingan and Shaedon Sharpe, it actually is watchable for me. Not really any other team is on that level for me. But again, at least I can end up watching like the hometown team play well. We're incredibly young. We might end up getting the first pick in the draft. If we get Cooper Flagg from Duke, that could be that cherry on top that we really need to make us must-see TV. But Clingan had a career day yesterday. Nice little screen off that slant. A.J. Brown, first down, Eagles. But we haven't really had a tough power forward or center in like 20 years. And so now we actually have some toughness down low with Clingan. And again, 8 blocks last night. Fantastic. And also, doing the matchup with Cooper Flagg with Duke and Kentucky, it shows people, I can call a basketball game. It's not like I feel like I'm out of my element. It used to be my number one thing. And who knows? Maybe we'll end up doing some NBA. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to lean towards probably the Blazers first. But, college hoops, if they end up having an intriguing matchup like we had with Duke and Kentucky, we'll probably sprinkle a few more of those in as well. And it ended up being an awesome game. So sometimes you just have to have a little bit of a hunch if you think it's going to be a pretty good matchup, and it was. And even though Duke lost with Cooper Flagg in the turnover and Kentucky got that dub, it ended up being worthwhile for sure. Second down and 12. Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily an easy win. Commanders are a good team. Now, if this was the Commanders from the past with no Jaden Daniels and Dan Quinn, I'd say, yeah, probably easy. But I don't think this is going to be easy one bit. I would still say that the Eagles should win and they should be favored. Flag on the play, laundry on the field. But again, Washington has closed the gap and they're good enough to win the division. And when's the last time that we've been able to say that? It's been a fucking while. Laundry on the field here. Holding, offense. I mean, it's cool to have confidence in your team, but you also want to be humble and recognize the talent that's in the division. Now, if you guys were playing, the Cowboys or the Giants, yes, that would be a correct statement. You're going to win. You're probably going to win by a lot. But with the Commandos, you got to act like, they're not 1-9. They're 7-3, and they actually could win the division. So it's not like this team is a bottom feeder. They're actually one of the best in the NFL. So could really go either way. Second down and 22. Let's see if Dickerson can come back on the field. Trips right for Philadelphia. Always got to keep it 100. Shotgun set. Jalen looking at the screen. Starts to break down. Floater towards the sideline. Incomplete. I highly doubt that the Yankees are going to keep Soto. I would assume that if the Dodgers have money, they're going to end up getting the Dodger phenom, coming over, for another pitcher. Pretty much, the Dodgers will be a Japanese team pretty soon. And if they have enough money to afford Soto as well, I imagine he'll go to the Dodgers too. Now, there's always a chance that he, goes back to the Yankees, but Soto is not really loyal. He's loyal to the money, not to the team. So you have to remember that, and then the way that they lost to the Dodgers, do you really want to go back and be on that team again? It's cool playing with Judge and Giancarlo. I get it. But are you actually going to be able to win a World Series over a team like the Dodgers as long as they keep stacking more chips? I don't know, so we'll see. It definitely gives the Yankees, a chance to be a contender if Soto stays. So I think the Yankees need Soto more than Soto needs the Yankees. Soto wants money, and he'll be able to go to whatever, team that he wants to go. He either wants to win a World Series, he'll go to the Dodgers, maybe take less money or a lot, or, he'll end up going to some rando team and just getting paid. 4th down and 13. Elliott with the field goal. Kick is up. And no good. Wow. See? You just got a little karma right there. You said easy win, and Jake Elliott didn't even make the field goal. That's why you always got to make sure you don't count your chickens before they hatch, my guy. 0-0, Washington and Philadelphia. Karma always has a way, to be able to make themselves known. Just like My Name is Earl. You want to know about karma? You watch that show. The easy win today. Normally he makes field goals. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. That statement comes out by Manu. What happens? They missed a field goal. Coincidence? I think not. Still think Philadelphia can win this game, but again, should be a little bit closer than people think. All right, let's get a few more photos up here. Little Bobby Wagner action. Captain says, I don't want any of the Rams photos, though. Only Seahawks and Washington, because I don't need to see the rival. And if I can find more Seattle, we don't even really have to go towards that Washington side. We can just do straight Seattle. See what we got here, but I imagine there's going to be at least one or two decent Washington ones. And yeah, a lot of the Washington ones don't really look that good. So I think we should probably just continue down the Seahawk one. Since you are a Seahawk fan as well, as long as I can find some good ones. I'm looking at some of the Washington ones. They don't do it justice, man. And they don't got jerseys that look so fresh and so clean like this. Oh my. Why aren't these the regular jerseys every single week? Home or away? My goodness, fire. Way to bring the electricity out on that photo. My goodness. All right, Bobby, I see you. First ballot Hall of Famer right here. Appreciate you, Captain. I hope you like those. Let's go. All right, Washington, your turn. Let's go, baby. Yeah, well, we have money, but we just don't want to spend it, And again, it shows you if you spend money, you're going to win. If you don't spend money, you might be able to be one of those teams that overachieves, that, doesn't spend a whole lot of money and ends up getting to an ALCS or an NLCS. But more times than not, you'll be like a playoff team, but you'll get knocked off pretty early. Shotgun set for Jaden Daniels. Eckler there to the sideline for a short game. Second down and 5. Shotgun set. Daniels. Hands off. Runs into an eagle wall. And they got Robinson back, but I'm not sure if he's 100%. He's been battling with some injuries the last few weeks. Even Eckler had to step in as a starter a few weeks ago. But again, a nice 1-2 punch So it's like if you're really looking at the weapons that, like, for example, Caleb Williams has and Jaden Daniels has, they got quite a bit of talent, that's in front of them. It's just a matter of, who's got the better offensive coordinator, head coach, offensive line. Again, there's definitely weapons at running back and wide receiver and tight end on both. But again, not the same type of coaching staff, and that's facts. Tipped and complete, almost picked off by the Eagles. Great defense there. And to see a Philadelphia Eagle team that looks so bad, on defense after starting off like 9-0, 10-0, and then just going on that big skid. Sometimes by bringing in a guy like a Vic Fangio, you would think maybe it would take a couple years to be able to get it back to where maybe the Eagles defense was a few years back. But literally, it took them 1 year, to go from being one of the worst to being a top 5. And that's definitely big for not only Jalen Hurts, but for Philadelphia and their chances if they want to make a deep run to the NFC Championship game or possibly beyond in the Super Bowl this year. If they had that same type of defensive coordinator and staff as last year, we would probably see Washington with a couple game lead in the division at this point. But they corrected those mistakes, essentially have the same roster besides just a few pieces, a few draft picks and a few free agents, and to go from one of the worst on defense to top 5, that's a big Vic Fangio thing. That's facts. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Those guys have been great. And then they had that homage, Philadelphia Eagle post that came on my timeline with the new starter jackets. Oh, God. I mean, I'm not an Eagle fan, but, man, a lot of those, like, remakes of the starter jackets are very, very nice. And they make pretty good, fashionable decisions, not only for, 1 or 2 teams, but for a majority of those teams that they end up making those remakes. Definitely brings me back to my childhood with those types of things like champion jerseys and starter jackets. That was my childhood, and it's kind of cool to see some of those things coming back. Very fire. All right. Philadelphia. Let's see if they can end up getting into the end zone here. A rare miss by Elliott at field goal kicker. Yeah, I've heard that from quite a few people. Been a little bit longer of a week and whatnot, but nice that we ended up, doing the, college basketball stream instead of waiting for like March Madness. Sometimes you got to kind of test the waters, and it ended up getting pretty good numbers overall, and we had some good support. Megan and a few others to make sure it was a successful stream on the Dono side also. So we'll see where it goes, and again, I'm not going to do just any matchup. We'll probably, reserve those matchups for the top teams like Kansas, Duke, maybe like a Kentucky, things like that. And, if it ends up being a good matchup, we'll probably sprinkle those in, but it may be a few weeks before we do another college hoops game, depending on schedule. Shotgun set, handoff. Saquon following his blockers. Good vision there. Almost a first down. Hybrid in the building. What's good, brother? Good to have Saquon get his confidence back. I mean, hell, anybody that's playing with Daniel Jones, that'll suck the confidence right out of you, And again, with Kellen Moore leaving the Cowboys and, going to the Commandos, it's like sometimes, you just need a new scenery. just like if you end up being at a job that know that's not necessarily a good fit, sometimes you have to end up making a change. And there you go, honey. I love you. All right, Paisley's in here now. You saw her into the background. Tush push. Did they get the first down? I believe they did. First down, Eagles. Yeah, well, dumb teams make dumb decisions, and that's just how it goes. And, I highly doubt that you'll see, Daniel Jones being a starting quarterback for any team moving forward after, they decide to move on. But again, it's like after you already saw what Daniel Jones was, doing, and then, seeing the mediocrity and the below subpar play, and then to give him more money, that really shows how dumb New York really is. Little play action there to Goddard. Short game, good tackle by Jeremy Chinn, the former Panther. But also, too, you're only going to be as effective as the team that's around you. And the Giants' offensive line isn't good. So, again, Saquon, him being able to do what he did on that shit team was pretty miraculous. And now to be able to join a team that's got a much better offensive line, much better coordinator, much better supporting cast, he's able to, do pretty much what A.J. Brown and a few of these other guys that were on other teams that were shitty, and then you end up getting them together, on a good team, and now they're all in Philadelphia together, and they're one of the best teams in the NFC. And I get it when certain running backs end up hitting 30, we can just draft one. But again, how many guys are you going to be able to draft that are still going to be on like the Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley level? Even Genty, when he comes in, there's no guarantee that he's going to be balling out like he is in college in the NFL. He may not be the next superstar running back, but it also could be. Nice tackle there by Washington. Luvu with the tackle. Good defense there by Washington. I don't think Philadelphia was anticipating that. And that's one thing about Washington, I think that's a little bit better than anticipated. You already hear about Jaden Daniels. You hear about Robinson, Eckler, Scary Terry. You hear about all the weapons on offense, but you don't really hear anyone talking about the Washington defense. And again, if the Washington defense was absolutely horrible, every single game, they wouldn't be 7-3. So again, they're gonna, they're going to try to have that bend but don't break mentality, and sometimes they will break. But again, if you can bend as much as possible and, give up field goals or punts rather than touchdowns, it's definitely going to give yourself a better chance to be competitive against the good teams that you go against, like the Philadelphia Eagles, obviously for Jaden Daniels. And hopefully we can get some touchdown drives out of these quarterbacks. I'll grab a couple Jonah Coleman's for you while we're waiting here. I have had a couple people reach out to me about doing like a Netflix watch-along party for the Tyson. But, I think, I can end up watching that at the same time. And again, if I, was a little bit more familiar with some of the other people that were on the card, maybe I would consider that. But I feel that, I can end up watching the fight, in the background while I call the game. So I think that'll be, especially if it's something that I've already been kind of looking forward to watching. And Washington needs a little bit of revenge. They've been getting beat up a little bit, and UCLA has been hot, winning like the last 3 or 4. So this would be a good opportunity to get back on track at home, and hopefully Jonah Coleman can have himself a day tomorrow. But I definitely will be watching the Tyson fight for sure. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to go, but I know this will be good tomorrow. And I think this one might even be better than the UCLA-Iowa matchup, which actually ended up being a pretty good game. But again, Iowa just didn't have enough towards the end to make it a little bit more competitive. But with Washington at home, should be able to give them the advantage that they need to be able to get the dub. If they can, not do the 2 quarterback situation and not have too many opportunities where they shoot themselves in the foot. We're at 10, 90 to go. Zero, zero, Commanders and Eagles. I imagine renovations, at some point or another, because obviously we know Washington, the Commanders have one of the worst, stadiums and whatnot. But again, you have to do baby steps, because I think for a while, no one anticipated Daniel Snyder selling the team or them forcing him to sell the team with all the sexual misconduct and all of the bullshit that was going on with him and his employees. And so sometimes you got to get rid of the rats, right, to be able to make room, for, the quality people there. Eckler, keep moving, baby. First down, Washington. So, baby steps. First, you got to be able to get rid of the owner. They did. Right. And then you got to be able to hire the right people after that. Dan Quinn, getting Jaden Daniels, they did. Right now, they're obviously looking like they're going to be a playoff team this year and hopefully next year and years beyond. Then at that point, then they can talk about, maybe either renovating or end up, possibly one day, getting a new location for a new stadium at one point or another. That obviously costs millions or billions of dollars. But I think at one point or another, that will be something they do, because a lot of the people that turn their back on Washington, the OT fans, they're back. Obviously with Jaden Daniels and Quinn, just for those two pieces alone and getting rid of Daniel Snyder, a lot of those fans that decided to give up on the Redskins or the football team, they're back. And again, they've been suffering for years and years and years, and it feels good to see them being relevant here in 2024. Judah in the building. What's good? Second down and 5. Shotgun set. Daniels, hands off. Look at the running. Look at the running. Oh, baby. 1 yard line. Almost a touchdown. Looked like he landed on somebody there. And again, Washington got 2 solid running backs. I mean, Eckler was a starter for the Chargers for years and years and years. And now he's the RB2 to Robinson, who's fantastic. You got Scary Terry. You got a lot of good weapons at wide receiver and tight end. Offensive line, that might be a place where they could improve a little bit more. But, I mean, whose offensive line couldn't improve? Every offensive line can improve. Touchdown, Washington. Let's go. Let's go. Brian Robinson Jr. Eat it up, baby. And that's why we don't say something like this, right? As Eagles fans, you got to be humble, right? Some Eagles fans are humble, some are not, right? You know what I mean? But again, easy win. What happened? Elliott missed the field goal. Now you're down 7-0. And I think most Eagles fans would figure that they would have already had 7 to 10 points on the board already. You got to give Washington some respect. You might not have been able to respect them earlier in the pass regime. This is not the pass regime. This is the new regime. 7-0. Extra point is good. Commandos. Okay. Nice job, Washington. Okay. Nice job, bro. I see you. I see you, Brian. Yeah, and we'll see what happens, in Jerry's world. If Jerry tries to get Bill Belichick, if Jerry tries to end up getting, Shedeur Sanders and Dion, to end up coaching the Cowboys. I mean, I don't know if any scenario would really surprise me, but just because you get Shedeur Sanders and Dion as a package, or if you get Bill Belichick, that doesn't mean the Cowboys are going to turn around and be like the best team in the NFL. It might be better than where they're at now, but they definitely have a culture problem. And they already fucked up by giving Dak all that money. It's the same thing with like the Daniel Jones thing. Like sometimes the owners are too loyal to certain people. They were overly loyal to Zeke instead of having Tony Pollard be the running back starter a couple years ago. And that hurt the team. Dak obviously is a good regular season quarterback, not so much in the postseason. But again, if you don't really care about actually winning a Lombardi and you just want to make money, that's what it really feels like with the Cowboys. They end up having it more of like almost like a play or a show, where they can end up watching the players practice and all this other stuff, watching the players work out. I mean, no other organization does that. And obviously that's going to take away focus from the players. But again, I don't really think they care about, they can say, oh, we want to win the Super Bowl every year. We want to do this. We want to do that. But obviously their actions don't prove that. So, I don't really know when Dallas will ever be good, and it'll probably have to be after the Jerry Jones era doesn't exist, and who knows how long that will extend for in the foreseeable future. 7-0 Commandos. Brian Robinson Jr. with that tutty, baby. And we'll see what Saquon can do on the other side for the Philadelphia Eagles. Packer fan? Barf. We got everybody in the family rooting for different teams there, huh? Go, baby, go. But at least the Packers end up having a quality quarterback, pretty much every year. That's one thing they got going for them. But that fan base, not for me. First down and 10, 7-0 Commandos. You got family that likes all different teams. Man in motion. A.J. Brown, play action fake to Saquon. Jalen with a little bootleg, play action, going deep. And complete little toe drag swag to Devontae Smith with the intermediate route. Incomplete, second down and 10. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. And we're at 10, 90 to go to hit the goal. We're at 14 already, good start. 6 more likes to be able to get to 20. Now we're at 15. 5 more to go to hit the goal, and then we can get into the algorithm. Let's go. Now, it's pretty rare to be able to get the coach and the quarterback at the same time, and that's what Washington was able to do. Pretty rare to get the coach that's the right one and to get the quarterback that was the right one. But again, we all said that we thought that Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels were the more NFL-ready quarterbacks, besides maybe Michael Penix Jr., but since he ended up going to the Atlanta Falcons, he hasn't really got a chance to show what he could do yet. But I still think that when he does get a chance, he will be good, like Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels. And then we don't really know about J.J. McCarthy. I do know that he ended up having another surgery on that knee, so I'm not sure what he's going to look like when we see him next year. But we'll have to just wait and see between him and Sam Darnold and anyone else that they bring in. Man in motion. Third down and 4. Shotgun set. Jalen. Oh, should have caught that. And dropped. What happened to my hands? You got to catch that. Philadelphia. Maybe coming into this game a little bit too overconfident. Dotson. You got to catch that. Going against his former team here. And again, you got to be able to catch the football with your hands, not let it come to your body, right? AJ Brown's like, give me the damn ball. And May has been actually, showing some growth as well. Like, I feel that this particular draft class is going to be one of the better ones. Now, it might not be as good as like the Joe Burrow draft, with those particular quarterbacks, which were pretty nice. And obviously with the Lamar, there's been a couple drafts in the last 10 years. There's been notably 2 that have produced quite a, few good quarterbacks with like Herbert and whatnot, 2 different draft classes. But then we've also had a couple draft classes after those that have not lived up to the billing. Shows you could win a Heisman in college. You can end up being great in college, but that doesn't mean it's going to translate into the NFL. It really comes down to your maturity, the offensive line, your head coach, your coordinator, your supporting cast. There's a lot of factors that are entailed for you to be able to be successful, within the first couple years. Flag on the play. Pushing the back. Yeah. But again, the Bears are stupid because the OC that ended up getting fired was the OC for the Seahawks, and he was fucking terrible. So that's why they let him go. And if you've noticed, the Hawk offense is much better without him. Then he ended up going to the Bears and fucking up Caleb's progression. So again, I'm not really sure what people saw, besides a guy that got fired from the Hawks, and they thought that was going to be a good piece, but he was already one of the worst offensive coordinators in the league the year that he was with the Seahawks. Then he went to the Bears and ended up becoming much worse. So at this point, anybody that hires Waldron, you can pretty much say is an idiot. Because at that point, you already have the writing on the wall. He couldn't do it in Seattle with all those weapons. He can't do it in Chicago. I don't know. Maybe he needs to retire or maybe do high school ball or something. First down and 10. Daniels, check down. Eckler is there, but a short gain. But again, a lot of these, younger quarterbacks, they're going to need help. And it's like not everyone is going to be able to, shine right away. Some guys, it's going to take 2, 3, 4 years. And if it takes that long, you might not have a job, or you might end up being a backup or third string at that point. Eckler with the draw on second down and 11, got half of that yardage back. Yeah, but I think with Caleb, it's just holding on to the football too long. Offensive line has done, average at best, at times okay, but again, if you're hanging on to the football too long, that'll be something that he'll learn. The speed of the game is going to be much faster than it was at USC when everything was easy for him. Third down and 5, and I think a lot of number 1 picks, they start to realize that if you're like a top 2 pick and you're a quarterback and you're a Heisman, kind of guy, that might be fine and all, but again, NFL is completely different. Jaden Daniels caught from behind there. Nakobe Dean. Georgia Bulldogs. And Washington now with the punt. Oh yeah, Chiefs Bills will be must-see TV. And again, this will be an opportunity where, the Chiefs may end up losing the first game of the year to the Bills. But it sounds like Keon Coleman is out with an injury, and Amari Cooper might not be able to play. So they might have to go to Shakir and then everyone else. So, obviously the tight ends might end up getting more looks, but sounds like the Bills are not going to be 100% on offense. So maybe a little bit more running with Josh Allen against the Chiefs. Nice running return by Philadelphia. But it kind of plays out where maybe Shakir gets in the end zone. Normally he hasn't scored since like week 3. If Amari Cooper plays, he might be a decoy, but it might be one of those games where, maybe Shakir or the tight ends get quite a few looks, but maybe, Allen throws for 2 and runs in for 1 or 2. It kind of feels like it could play out that way. Yeah, I saw that. Karma. End of the first quarter, 7-0 Commanders. That's why we don't say easy win. Sports Karma, will layeth the smacketh down when it sees that or hears that. Not saying that the Eagles can't win this game, but ever since that comment was laid out, missed field goal, haven't got on the board yet, down 7-0. We'll see what happens. And we'll be doing this one tomorrow, the Huskies and the Bruins. I'll see if hopefully I'll be able to convert a Jonah Coleman photo to be able to make a nice image, I'm hoping. But if not, then I'll just, I don't want to use just logos, if I don't have to. I had to do that for the Duke and the Kentucky college basketball stream that I did. And it ended up looking good. But again, I just have to be able to see if I can convert it. But I already have a UCLA image from last week that obviously is pristine. Now I just have to find, a Jonah Coleman image or someone from the team that, I can convert to make it look good. So. Five more likes to be able to get to 20. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. 5 more to get the goal. Let's go, baby. They need to get Devontae Smith the ball, A.J. Brown the ball. They need to be able to, get Goddard the ball. They got to be able to mix it up. It just can't be Saquon, every single down. Got to be able to mix up the bag a little bit with the play calling. Appreciate it. And again, this is the first time that we ended up doing Washington. So I was thinking, oh God, am I going to be able to get a Jayden Daniels? Am I going to actually be able to get one that's going to convert and work and look good? And I was like, oh God, I don't know if it's going to, pan out or not. And then I had 2 of them that I made. So this one with the football, a little bit off-centered from the Washington logo. And then I made this one where it's more centered. And I usually like doing it like this, where it's like the image is in between the logo, but then his arm is kind of cut off with the football. So I figured, you know what? I normally like them like this, and I think this looks clean. But for this particular image, just to be able to have the football in the frame, even though it's a little bit off-centered, it's all about symmetry for me and what looks good. But it shows you, I really do take everything, very seriously, and I really try to be able to give it my all. And sometimes I have to make multiple thumbs, just to get to the point where I feel it's up to the NWSF standard. But, again, especially when you have one where the football is in the hand, I could have ended up having the image be center with the, hand off screen, off the thumb, but I don't know. I thought, I kind of debated with myself. Little halfback toss, Saquon, bouncing it to the outside, first down, Eagles. But I figured that, that was the one that, would look a little bit better. This one still looks good, right? Even though his arm, is, because he's in the middle of the W, right? This is like one of the only times that I'm not going to have an image line up right in the middle of the logo. But, with this throwing motion in this image that I got, what can I do? I guess I could have slid the W over closer to the verses, but I don't want it to be too jumbled, It's all about symmetry and whatnot, so. But hopefully you guys like it. And again, so you guys can kind of see where my mind is whenever I try to make these thumbs for y'all and for myself. To try to show a little bit of my artwork. And, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is. A commando sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Man, Eagles offensive line getting beaten the fuck up out there. Jalen said, God damn. I don't think it'll be boring next week. Pittsburgh and Cleveland, that's going to be good. What are you talking about, man? Jameis Winston, throwing it deep to Tillman, right? Again, that's a rivalry. They might end up being somewhat lower scoring, and it typically ends up being like a 13-10, 16-13, 19-16 game, typically, right? But you got Jameis Winston at quarterback. Russell Wilson has looked great, since he's become the starter. So I don't know. I don't think it'll end up being boring. I actually think it might end up being a little bit better than people think. And who knows, depending on what Tillman does at wide receiver and the defense with Myles Garrett, that could be a trap game for Pittsburgh. And Cleveland could, I'm not saying that they will, but they could end up, surprising everyone if Jameis ends up having a good game. Now, will he? Probably not. He probably would throw like for 1 or 2 touchdowns and throw for like 3 or 4 picks or something. But the deep touchdowns that he would throw will at least be exciting. Could be 40, 50-yard bomb, just like a 50-yard interception he could have too. But I don't know. I think that it won't be that boring. I think it actually will be a little bit better than people think. Pittsburgh is already fun to watch no matter what with Russell Wilson and Pickens, and Najee and Warren, TJ Watt. That's already good on that side, And let's be honest, who would you rather see, Deshaun Watson or Jameis? And again, Jameis is going to give you excitement with the big touchdown pass, right? But also the big fuck up. But with Deshaun Watson, he's just going to fuck up, and there is no big play ever, right? He's just going to get sacked, and he can't throw the ball. So at least when Jameis is there, he'll fuck up a lot, but it gives you a better chance to win than Watson does. And I don't think we would have been saying that when Watson was on the Texans, but here we are. Watson ain't the same. He a criminal. Pick us up. And no good. And that's what happens when you get Eagles fans coming in here and say easy win. And what happened? Jake Elliott. You say easy win when you come into the stream. What happened? 2 missed field goals, no touchdowns. Coincidence? I think not. Sports gods are real. Let me tell you. That's why you don't say those things. Again, and again, some people are humble, some people aren't, right? You have to be humble, right? And again, if you're just going to act like every other team is like the Cowboys or the Eagles, you will learn today. And again, probably a lot of Eagles fans said the same thing. Easy win. We're Philadelphia. We're at home. But you have to respect the opponent. You're not playing the Cowboys. You're not playing the Giants. And let's be honest. If Philadelphia was playing any other team, Washington is one of the best teams that you can play that's in the NFC, not named Philadelphia. There's not very many quality teams yet in the NFC West, right? In the NFC South, it's Atlanta, but we think Washington's better than them. And then you got a couple teams in the North, right, with the Lions and the Packers and the Vikings. So you got to think right now, Washington is one of the top 4 teams, not named the Philadelphia Eagles, that is going to the playoffs. Respect them. Put some respect on their name. And they're showing it right now. And how often is it that you get a kicker that ends up missing, not only one kick, but multiple kicks that normally is incredibly reliable? Just saying. 7-0, Washington. Yeah. Well, obviously, it's going to be a trap game for Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh should win that game. Is it in Pittsburgh or is it in Cleveland next week, Captain? But it's always been one of those, crazy ones that, you remember with Myles Garrett ripping off the helmet, and, Mason Rudolph, they have bad blood, and obviously Pittsburgh and Baltimore don't like each other. Pittsburgh and Cleveland don't like each other. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, like that whole division fucking hates each other. But, Pittsburgh and Cleveland is always going to, be a rivalry. But if Tillman can play like he did in the last 3 weeks, who knows? And Nick Chubb would actually have to be like the old Nick Chubb. So if Nick Chubb plays like the old Nick Chubb, Jameis plays like the good Jameis, not the bad Jameis, and Tillman can play like, how he has been playing, who knows? maybe it ends up being a little bit closer than people think. In Cleveland. Wow, that makes it even more exciting, because then the Cleveland fans are going to be rocking in there. If it was in Pittsburgh, it would be obviously much, much harder, with the terrible towels and whatnot. But with the Cleveland fans, rooting them on, could be a big trap game for Pittsburgh, even though I like what I've seen from Pittsburgh so far with Russell Wilson. I don't think I would have ever said that or thought of that at the beginning of the year. But here we are. You can't hate on progression. First down and 10. Daniels. Step up in the pocket. Get rid of it. 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. That might have been a 1 yard gain, or I think that was a loss, though. Yep. That was a sack. -8. Four wide. Empty back. Shotgun set for Daniels. Blitz coming. 12 noon. You know what time it is. Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Back-to-back sack lunches. Sweat with the sack lunch. But it shows you the defensive lines are winning the battle at the line of scrimmage for both teams. Offensive line for the Commanders getting fucked up. Offensive line for the Eagles getting fucked up today. Third down and 22. Shotgun set, Daniels. And just trying to get some positive yardage there before the punt. Flag on the play. Laundry on the field. Holding on the offense. Penalty is declined, and they'll take the punt. Yeah, have you seen him yet, Judah? Yeah, I've seen him, practicing and whatnot. Anyone that ends up being somewhat of a phenom, or or if they have some kind of incredible trait based off height or skill set, I haven't got a chance to see him play, at all yet. But yeah, it's crazy for a guy that can dunk without having to stand on his heels, and it's wild. But I'll tell you what, Judah, Klingon had his Blazer glass. They did, we used to have Dairy Queen glasses here in Oregon that are very popular. And they decided to make 3 this year. Klingon, the rookie from UConn, right? They made Scoot Henderson and Shaden Sharp. So 3 of our best players, even though we're incredibly young. And he ended up having an amazing game. And normally, I'm not going to go out of my way to watch every single Blazer game from beginning to end. But the way that Klingon and Sharp, because Sharp has been, hurt all year, and he just came back within about a week. But you can and he had a career day last night in scoring, yesterday too. But they played the T-Wolves and obviously with Anthony Edwards, and it went back and forth. But it's the first time the Blazers have actually had an identity of being tough. And Klingon gives you that toughness. And obviously we could have went for the offensive route, where obviously the Grizzlies ended up going that route with that particular player. And I was starting to think, man, I don't know if we got the right guy, because anytime we end up picking a guy that's defensive oriented, he ends up being like a bust. I don't want to fucking Theo Ratliff. I need someone that's going to be a stud. And Kling Kong, he's making me want to watch the Blazers every game, and with him and Shaden Sharp. And I didn't know if that was going to happen, but again, I can't really watch the NBA, but I can definitely watch the Blazers, and it's starting to make me become a fan again. Because before it was I was a hardcore fan when I was a kid, and then I would kind of, periodically watch here and there. But I find myself, as long as those two guys are in the lineup, you see the passion, you see the energy, you see the effort. And we haven't had that in a long, long time. Even though we might be one of the worst teams in the NBA, we're the second youngest. And if we can add a Cooper Flagg or another player from the draft, with the core that we have, and if Scoot can get a little bit better, he is no fucking Damian Lillard by any means. Shaden Sharp is the most exciting offensive player. Klingon, our best defensive player in 20 years. And he can also score on top of that. He had 8 blocks last night on his fucking Dairy Queen glass replica that they gave out. And I got to be able to get those glasses. And it's funny, too, because I was talking with my buddy, and we're like, damn, hopefully we can get those glasses for like cheap, like 20 to 40 a piece. But now, after the hype and everything that he's been doing so far, with a good chance of getting Rookie of the Year, damn, we're going to probably have to pay 50 to 100 for that glass. And it's kind of like a cartoon image of the player, on the Blazer glass, and it's a nice quality glass, not like plastic or something cheap. So, but it's cool, Like again, I don't really like the NBA, but Clingan and Sharp are making me watch the Blazers almost every day, and I like that. 3rd down and 4, shotgun set. Jalen. Scrambling, gambling towards the sideline, incomplete. No rhythm for the Philadelphia Eagles. Good defense there by Washington. Yeah, he had a career day. I mean, and the blocks that he gets are, he's so athletic for a big guy. It's amazing to see like him, work into the paint. And again, so disciplined. When you watch him play, he looks like a 5 or 6 year vet, and he's a rookie. And again, it's like, we haven't had toughness, and again, we have it now, and it was the perfect draft pick, and again, a lot of times I'm criticizing the Blazers of picking the wrong guy, could have had Michael Jordan, pick Sam Bowie, right? Could have had Kevin Durant, pick Greg Oden, but Clingan was the correct, pick, even though there was a couple other big guys that had some good moments in the tourney. Grizzlies got one of them. And I was thinking, man, did we get the wrong guy? And after watching, this early part of the season of the Blazers, we definitely got the correct player for what this fucking city needed. And again, for someone that didn't really care about the NBA or the Blazers as much, I'll have fun when I go to the games, but I find myself watching now games of the Blazers, and that's what we needed. And again, if we can build off that, then maybe in a couple of years we'll be in the playoffs. But definitely the vibe here in the Pacific Northwest is much better based off the effort of Sharp and Clingan. So it's making Blazer fans want to watch again, and that's a good thing. I know they need to get him the ball. Washington's defense is underrated. My boy, Kling Klong, man. I think like his jersey is going to end up being one of the top guys. We've had like Prisbilla, and we've had other guys that have been kind of tough and enforcers. But if you can end up being a rookie, right, and you can end up moving your feet and making big plays, regardless if it's against good players, mid-tier players. He's all over the place, and makes it fun, man. Again, because I'm a defensive guy, and that's the thing that we've lacked for a long, long time. Is being able to have that defensive presence down low, and again, Clingan is a guy that can score 20 points. He can get you 10 to 12 boards, and he can get you 5 to 10 blocks and 2 to 5 assists. And he's tough. He doesn't take shit from anybody, but he's not a dirty player. He's just an enforcer where people have to respect him. And again, like I said, I've been wanting a player like this on the Blazers for a fucking long time, for like 20 years. And now we finally got it. So it's very, very exciting. And then obviously offensively, Shaedon Sharpe is the most exciting offensive player we have. So we got 2 guys, a few others, that are good role players. Jeremy Grant, we'll see what Scoot Henderson, hopefully he can develop. But even though we're the second youngest team, and we might end up being one of the worst teams in the NBA, but again, at some point we're going to get better, and I'm excited to see the growth of the team. Little screen pass. Look at Brown dancing around like a magician. Yeah, he's nice. It's all about passion and effort. That's really what it is for a lot of the, people that were loyal to Rip City and, were fans for many, many years. But again, from the games that I've watched, I'm back, and I didn't really think that I would be. I thought it would maybe take a couple more years before I'd be like, you know what, I'm going to go out of my way to watch games, and I'm going to try to watch full games. Not just like little highlights here and there, or watch like a quarter and then turn it off when we're down getting blown out by 30. So that's good. It feels good to be able to represent Rip City again. Robinson with the catch towards the sideline, just short of the marker. DeGene has been great for the Eagles. Yeah, and his grandma was there at the game yesterday, too, for not only his Blazer glass giveaway, but I'll have to look online to see how much they're going for. But I was telling my buddy, we might have to fork out because they only did like 7,000 of the glasses. And then, out of like the 20,000 capacity. So you had to get there early to get one. And they're only going to do it for that one game. So one game for Klingon glass, one game for Scoot, and one game for the Sharp. So I don't really care about the Scoot glass, but I'm a collector. So if I obviously get the Klingon glass and I get the Sharp glass, and I have to, if I don't go to those games, I'm going to have to fork out a little money. Unless I get someone that doesn't care about them. Hopefully I can get them for like 20, 25 a piece, but I doubt it. Holding, offense. Kling Kong, baby. Yeah, and if you remember him on UConn in the tourney, he was a pretty big threat out there. But some guys, transition very well when they go pro. Others, it takes them a couple years. And we're very, very happy with the pick. And that's a very rare thing for us to say here in the Pacific Northwest, especially for a Blazer fan. Most of the time, we're like, oh God, we fucked up again and picked the wrong guy. But we finally have been kind of hitting on the last few. Dame, CJ McCollum, even though they're not on the team anymore. Anthony Simons. Shaden Sharp, Scoot, I could say at this point, that might have been a failed draft pick, but again, he's still young, but again, he's not Damian Lillard. But again, if people can accept that, and hopefully he can continuously get a little bit better, and he's never going to be the best player on the team, Scoot Henderson, but if he can end up being a consistent third best player between Sharp and Klingon, then, and Jeremy Grant and a few others, and we got something cooking. 7-0 Commanders. Yeah, Sam Bowie, Kevin Durant. We've made a lot of mistakes. Feels good to actually get one that we feel that could be here for a long, long time that we love. And they debuted some new jerseys this morning, too. Some new Rip City jerseys that look pretty fire. Nice catch there by Zach Ertz, the former Eagle. So bad it hurts Zach Ertz. First down, Commandos. For as much as I don't like the NBA, for me to get back into the Blazers again takes a lot, but they did it. They piqued my interest now. Man in motion. Daniels, little bootleg play action, rolling to his left, keeper, and slides into the turf and goes down before he gets hit. Smart decision there by Daniels. Yeah, and Robert Williams is back and obviously making an impact as well. And I'm going to go see the Jazz the day after Christmas in the front row. So hopefully Klingon isn't injured at that point. Sharp is healthy as well. And maybe you'll see me on TV. Second down and 9. Shotgun set, little play action. Daniels looking for a man and complete into double coverage. Got to get the ball to Scary Terry. Both of these offensive lines have getting beat up, so you haven't really been able to see Smith or Goddard or A.J. Brown, run their routes effectively enough to get open to get the ball. And the same thing goes for Brown and Scary Terry and a few others. Just not on the same page just yet, even though he didn't have pressure on that particular throw by Jaden Daniels. Yeah, going to games in person, incredibly fun. On TV, sometimes it's not, but, We got 5 wide, 4 on the right-hand side. Daniels. Eckler with the drop. What happened to my hands? Help your quarterback out. Come on, Eckler. Golly. now I feel like the players are jittery because they've just seen how dominant that the D lines have been. Got to focus. Help your quarterback out. For a game that we thought that was going to be in the 30s or the 20s, it shows you these defenses are a little bit better than people are giving them credit for. Philly's defense is top 5. Washington, it's going to vary, from, being in the 10, to the top 20, kind of back and forth depending on who they play. But for an offense that has so many weapons in Philadelphia, Washington doing a hell of a job so far here on the road. Yeah, they do. Likes up, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. If there's anyone in the room that hasn't done it yet. And hopefully we'll get a few more people hopping in after halftime. We only need 5 more to be able to hit the goal. So hopefully we'll get a few people that are, either watching the game or doing other things that can hop in and say hello. But the running backs have been doing their thing. But other than that, it's been a pretty tough battle here for the quarterbacks. Yeah. And we would have more wins if Sharp played from the very beginning of the year. We're the second youngest team in the NBA, but he was hurt for, the first, X amount of games, and we just got him back. And to me, he's the best player on the team. And then obviously we have Klingon as that defensive enforcer. So, again, I was talking to a lot of the buddies here in Oregon where it's like a lot of us are pretty similar with our fandom. And a lot of us were very hardcore into the NBA in the 80s and 90s. But since 2000 and the run that we had, with Pippen and Schrempf and Arvydas Sabonis and Rasheed Wallace and Brian Grant, it's been a long time where we felt like we actually had something cooking, here in Rip City. And then we had the Dame era, which kind of kept most people afloat. But then after Dame left, we knew it was going to be pretty rough. But I'm just really happy with the progressions that we've been having so far. Reflect with the fiber. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. $5 holla. We're at 15, 85 to go. Or I believe we're at 15. Is that where we're at? Yeah, 15. Let me know what you want to do for a photo at any point if you want one. If not, totally okay. Yeah, Sharp, that his career night was last night. Again, and it's crazy. Like I said, I don't usually watch like full games that often, but something told me to watch, and again, I knew it was going to be the giveaway glass. So I kind of had a feeling that Klingon was going to bring everything that he had last night against the T-Wolves, with the giveaway, and his grandma was there. So I was like, okay. And, Sharp, since he's come back from the injury, has just been incredible. Like, I could definitely see Sharp becoming an all-star, like a reserve, in the all-star game, but like making an all-star game at some point in his career. He's got the it factor. Shotgun set, handoff to Saquon, short gain, and you haven't really been able to see the running backs get loose to the second tier of the defense. It's like right when they get past the defensive line, they go down immediately, but you have to assume that the defense will get a little tired in the third and fourth quarter, and this game will open up. Yes. Shaden, I call him Skywalker, because he's always gliding in the air with those dunks. And we'll see if that nickname will stick. Yeah, I hear you, Paisley. You want out? Okay, hold on, honey. Shotgun set on 1st down and 10. Jalen towards the sideline. Devontae Smith with the short gain. And if you notice with Washington, it's everything in front of them, nothing behind them. Dinking and doinking, but they really haven't been able to get into a rhythm. And I know Captain was complaining about Pittsburgh and Cleveland, maybe not being that good of a game next Thursday, but Jameis, Tillman, Chubb, Russell, TJ, it's a rivalry game, and it's in Cleveland. I mean, I don't think we thought this game would be 7-0. Might have more points in that Cleveland-Pittsburgh game than this one. Saquon with the spin move. 1st down, Eagles. Move the chains. Yes, David Thompson. How you feeling about the Husky game tomorrow? You feel pretty confident that you guys can beat the Bruins? Hopefully I can get a Jonah Coleman image, obviously. Hopefully I can get a Jonah Coleman image at some point. I'll probably look tonight to see if I can convert any. But obviously tomorrow, that's when I'm going to have to do it. Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, Bruins, I think, have won 3 in a row, so they've been a little bit hotter, but hopefully it ends up just being a competitive matchup. Shotgun set. Hurts, hands off. Saquon runs into his own player, and then 4 commandos, goes backwards. Philly needs to get at least a field goal here before halftime, but they've already had their kicker, Elliott, miss 2. So I wonder if they'll even go for field goals the rest of the game. Shotgun set. Hurts. There we go. There we go. Big hit. Devontae Smith. 1st down. Eagles. I see you, Slim Reaper. It's not just KD. Hand off. Nope. Play action fake. Takes it out. Jalen scrambling and a smart slide. Okay. Keep getting him the ball. They need to get A.J. Brown the ball. Flag on the play. Laundry on the field. Probably holding on Philadelphia. First down and 10. Man in motion. Shotgun set. Handoff. Washington's defense is so drastically improved from where they were, and sometimes getting that quarterback and that head coach and getting that new owner, it really changes the whole entire vibe. Instead of being like a dysfunctional family, they actually feel like a bonded family where, good things are going to happen, and they've already happened in year one. Last 5 games, Washington's most points they've given up is 28. So, sometimes they're going to be hit or miss with that defense that's normally ranked in at least fantasy terms 18th, so around the middle, but playing pretty good here tonight. Man in motion, shotgun set, Hurts, pressure coming off the edge, floater in the end zone. What defense by the Commandos. Wow. Incomplete. That's always good when you can get the benefits with the job if you feel like you're going to be staying there for at least a little bit. Third down and 8. Shotgun set. Hurts. Scrambling. Gambling. Give me a block, he says. There you go. Great decision by Jalen to run. You got to make something out of nothing. First down, Philly. Move the chains. I know. That's what I was telling y'all earlier on. If you go back and look at, some of the ranked teams, that some of the people play. And plus, if you looked at the college football playoff committee and all the people that vote, it has, no correlation to the AP top 25. So I really feel that they're going to get it wrong. And there's going to be a lot of teams that are pissed off, based on where they're placed in the ranking. And they may not have the best teams in, this top 12 that they're going to end up doing in the college football playoff. Like, I know when we ended up doing the BCS and, people complained that they didn't get it right, which they did have some bias. Like, obviously back in the early 2000s, Oregon should have played Miami, but we ended up playing Colorado, and then Nebraska played Miami and got absolutely killed out there. And we beat Colorado, I think, in the Fiesta. But, we'll see on how this college football playoff goes. But based on the first week of where the teams sit, pretty disappointing. They don't really have the teams where they should be. So I don't know what kind of bias they have going on there and, who these people that are voting, but they're definitely not getting it right. And there's going to be a lot of pushback for sure. And they're going to have to expand from 12 to 16 whenever they vote again, whether that's next year or the year after, when that becomes available. I almost guarantee that we're going to move from 12 to 16, just based on this, committee getting it wrong. And I highly doubt Indiana's going to beat Ohio State. Handoff. Saquon runs into 5 Commandos. Stood up and sent down. 3rd and goal. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see if Jordan James, can get healthy. Tez, obviously out until, maybe the playoff or maybe the whole year. We'll find out. But, it kind of feels like it could be Oregon's year, and I hope it is. I would love for them to, win a natty, and not only that, but to do it defensively. It's like my dreams that I asked when I was a little kid are like finally coming true at 42 years old. Like, I need to see the Mariners win a pennant, and I need to see the Ducks win a natty. And if I can get that, then I think I can die a happy man. And I already got 2 Bucks Super Bowls, so I'm good there. Blazers already have a championship, so I'm good there, even though it was a couple years before I was born with Bill Walton. I highly doubt that the Blazers will win another one while I'm alive. But Mariners and Ducks, those would be huge. And the Ducks are in great position. Mariners, we're getting closer, but, still got a ways to go. 3rd and goal. Shotgun set. Play action fake. Pressure up the middle. Jalen scrambling, gambling, running in, and flipping it at the last second. Incomplete. Kick is up. And good. 7-3 Commandos. 1 for 3. At least Elliott gets some points now. And instead of being -2, now he's in positive, I believe. Positive with 1. That's rough. Hey, but they'll take it. 3 is better than nothing. Oh, and a face mask, even though it was very brief. All right, Jake, finally getting on the board. 7-3 Commandos. And then with 19 seconds left, we might just get a kneel down. Not really what we were anticipating, but again, I feel like the NFL, that's been kind of the calling card this year. The matchups that we think are going to be, oh my God, like on paper, this is going to be an awesome game. Commandos, Eagles, and now we're at 7-3. I'm not saying that it won't turn out to be an amazing game in the second half. I hope it does. But it seems like the games that we think that are going to be great end up being a little bit lackluster, and the games that we think that are going to be terrible actually end up being pretty good. So you never really know how things are going to either play out until we actually get the games going. But I think a lot of the games that we anticipated being great have maybe disappointed a little bit, at least in the first half. Second half should be much better. Yeah. Plus, it's also good that you have a job that you actually like. I know you bounced around from job to job within the last 2 to 3 years, and had a run there for a couple jobs where it just wasn't a good fit, and had to kind of go through those emotions of getting a job and then not having a job and then getting another job and hoping it sticks, and then that one not working out. So obviously, congrats with that, and hopefully this one will be one that you like. And then you can end up staying there for as long as you want, as long as you're happy there. 1st down and 10. Jaden Daniels. Little check down. Eckler. Wow. 1st down, Washington. Call timeout. I mean, if you can get a field goal here and make it 10-3, why not? Especially if they're playing a soft zone right here. So the clinging glass, right? And I said, we were hoping, me and my buddy were hoping to be able to get them for like $25 to $40. They're going for like 80 to 100. I said that to my buddy last night. I know how memorabilia works. I don't got money to spend $75, $100 on a glass, even though it is a collector glass, it's like 25 to 50 for a glass, that's collector. That's kind of like my wheelhouse, but anything above 50, it better be something really, really rare or, so hopefully we'll find, my buddy made a Craigslist post, and hopefully we'll find someone that went to the game that doesn't care about it, that maybe we can end up getting them cheaper. So We're at 15, 85 to go. Matt in the building. What's good? Second down and 10. 7-3 Commandos. Shotgun set. Did he catch that? Timeout, Washington. Oh, yeah, he didn't catch that. Incomplete. That's crazy. $80 for one glass, $100 for another, and then another one is 2 glasses. $76 and 7 bids with 6 days to go. Holy moly. Nobody's going to want to give up that glass, especially after the performance he had last night. All right, halftime, 7-3 Commandos. Wish it was a little bit more high scoring, even though I'm a defensive-oriented fan, but you know, with the offenses that both these teams have, this has been a little lackluster first half, and hopefully it'll be a little bit better in the second half. Yeah, hopefully it's not too serious. I'm going to go check up on Paisley since we're at halftime right now. And then let me know what you guys want to see for photos while obviously we wait for the game to restart here in the second half. Yeah, not the most ideal team to be going against, for him to get his start. Like, you're literally going against the toughest pass defense in the NFL with the Jets. But, we'll see what happens. Again, I want to say, well, it can't get any worse than really what you were getting with him earlier in the season. Besides game number 1 of the season, that was like the only good game that he had. And then after that, it was terrible. Flacco had a couple good games and then a couple bad ones, but again, it's a team game, and it's more than just the quarterbacks. It's the offensive line, it's the play calling, the OC, the defense. They haven't really been helping each other out, but hopefully for your sake that he'll play better than he did when he was playing there besides game number 1, but I wouldn't hold my breath too much. You might have to just clean house, with this particular team. There are a lot of pieces that need to be replaced. A little dysfunctional there. But we'll wait and see. Hopefully they play well for your sake and all the Colts fans, but, could end up being very, very ugly again. There's a stud. Yeah, it's always nice when you can get a corner or a safety, that can play like he did. And obviously, out of all the players in the Legion of Boom, how would you rank them based on on the field, off the field? Is there a certain individuals there that you like a little bit more than others? Obviously, we've seen Sherman and Earl kind of getting themselves in trouble after football, but I don't know. Every individual in that Legion of Boom obviously was special. But I think some are a little bit more likable than others. I guess it just kind of depends on, your particular loyalty to one or another. Right. Out of the Legion of Boom specifically, you got a favorite out of the four? Yeah. And he was probably the most underrated out of the four, too. He didn't get as much love and pub as the other three, but definitely at times had more of an impact. Chancellor and Browner a little under the radar compared to Sherman and Earl, which probably got most of the love. You get a better one than that. I thought this one would be better, but too small, too blurry. There we go. Still not to my standard. Gotta find another one. And then you got one that has like one guy missing. Like, how are you going to leave Browner out? That one's too blurry for my liking. There we go. But where you got three? Where's the other one? Where's Browner? All right, we're getting back into the action here after halftime. 7-3 Commandos. A little bit lower scoring than we all anticipated, but hopefully we have a good second half. We're going to make some more room here. Lane, yeah. Hopefully Jalen is okay. All right, let's get a good second half here. Let's go. Yeah, defense will always beat offense. Just like how everyone picked the Chiefs to beat Tampa. Didn't happen. Fumble. Everyone picked the Raiders to beat Tampa as well. You know, and again, defense wins games, defense wins championships. And obviously you have to have somewhat of a capable offense. You just can't have a dog shit offense and think that you're going to, be able to win. You got to still be capable and move the football. But, elite defense, defense wins games, defense wins championships, 100%. Shotgun set. Daniels, hands off. Robinson. I like Robinson as a runner. Eckler obviously is getting a little bit older, but still is capable to fill in for Robinson. But Robinson younger legs, better vision, probably better hands as well. But it's a nice, compliment to have that 1-2 punch. So that way, if Robinson needs a breather, Eckler, as being a starter for the Chargers all those years, a very capable RB2. Sirianni needs to go. I could see the Steelers overachieving and making the AFC Championship game, depending on who they play if they get to the playoffs. I think that, with the TJ Watt and everything that they have, and if Russ can, have that connection with George Pickens, I think the Steelers and the Chargers are the two teams that people need to keep an eye on. With the way that they run the ball, the way they play defense, and you're getting a little bit better numbers out of Russ and Justin Herbert this year with obviously Harbaugh and Tomlin doing what they do. So obviously the Chiefs are still going to be heavily favored as the top dog, which they should be. But again, it'll be very interesting to see the other teams with those two teams and Buffalo and a few others in the AFC to see what they can do. Pass to the sideline, incomplete, flag on the play. Laundry on the field. Pass interference. Defense. Cooper. And I think with like Justin Fields, if they would have stayed with him, it's like, yeah, you can make the playoffs, but you're going to lose in the first round. But the way that Russ has been playing, they look like they could win a couple games in the playoffs. I don't know if they can get it all the way to the AFC Championship game, but if they keep playing like they have been and that defense can help Russ out, I wouldn't really be that shocked. Somebody's got to play the Chiefs if the Chiefs get there. Who's it going to be? Ravens, Steelers, Chargers, someone's got to come out. Eckler showing that vision and still got a little speed. First down, Commandos, move the trains. And I'm really happy for Herbert that he finally has a good coach so that they don't waste his whole career. Wasted it with Lynn, wasted it with Staley. And Harbaugh is going to get the most out of Herbert, and you're going to see a resurgence in his career. And, that's good. We don't want to see every Oregon quarterback, kind of hit a wall at some point. You're going to need to be able to have a good mentor. And this is the first guy that has actually been solid, not only for Herbert, but for the Chargers in many years. Short gain by Robinson there. Second down. Yeah, but I think that, Fields can't throw. So if you're looking at Fields, he had a good record, but no kind of rapport with George Pickens. So again, when you have weapons, where you're going to end up winning based off your defense mostly, it's nice to be able to see the defense do the job, but then also Russ helping Najee and Warren be better, but primarily the receivers and the tight ends actually getting the ball. And it's always nice when you can get Freiermuth the ball. Pickens can be relevant. And I think that's really the difference. I'm not a Russ guy. I don't really like him, but again, I can't deny that he's not playing well, and that was a better choice. Fields can run, but he can't throw, and that's pretty clear. There was no chemistry between him and Pickens, and then, Russ comes in, and you're starting to see Pickens can be, a top 10, top 15 receiver, and just need to give him opportunities to show his freakish ability athletically and with his hands. Daniels slinging it, almost picked off, incomplete, intended receiver, Scary Terry McLaurin. 4th down and 4. Got to get Scary Terry the ball. And again, if the Steelers are going to be good, they have to get Pickens the ball. He might have attitude issues. He might be a little bit of a diva. Most receivers that are at the top, have a little edge to them. Obviously corners talk a lot of shit. Receivers talk a lot of shit. But with that being said, Pickens talks a lot, might have some issues off the field, in college and in the NFL. But overall, the guy can do things that, only a few receivers can do. And it's just nice to be able to see a guy like that actually get the ball and, show what he can do for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kick is up and is good. 10-3 Commandos, but we got a flag on the play. Gonzalez in there. Because obviously we have Siebert with the injury. Lots of kickers getting hurt here towards the end of the season. I mean, besides the whole Harrison Butker thing, but we've seen quite a few. Reichert, there for the Vikings, but kind of unusual to have kickers go on IR or be out for the year at this point in the season. I mean, sometimes it happens at the beginning, but quite a few injuries at kicker, not the reliability that a lot of people think. And another kick, and that one is good. 10-3 Commandos. Yeah, I feel like with Fields at quarterback, Pickens value 0, but with Russ in there, there's value, and again, it's going to help them win games, and it already has. 10-3 Washington. All right, Eagles, your turn. All right, Jalen. I know you guys love going here to Saquon, right? You went a little bit with the Slim Reaper, but this is the guy that you guys haven't got involved. You got to get A.J. Brown the ball, and we'll see if they make a point of it to be able to get him the ball. And also, don't forget about Dallas Goedert. Got to get him the rock, too. But defensive lines have won the battle here today. Offensive lines are having a hell of a time trying to be able to keep their quarterback upright. But there's a lot of weapons. Just got to have time to get him the ball. Yeah, smart. Yeah, but we shouldn't be too surprised about Russ, even though a lot of us don't really like his personality or the off-the-field shit that he has said and done. But he did have a really good rapport, even though at some times he looked, a little off there with Denver. But if you remember last year, him and Cortland Sutton had that connection where Sutton and him scored pretty much every game. So for him to have that connection with Pickens, even a better receiver than Sutton, with a little bit higher of a ceiling, even though Sutton is a pretty solid receiver in the NFL, top 25. Pickens has the ability to, be a top 10 or top 15 if he can get enough targets. It's always cool to be able to see, someone that was good, go into another situation, obviously not be the same player. And obviously in Russ's head, if he didn't trick himself to think he was still a top 3 quarterback in this league, maybe we would have seen a little bit of more of a, downward progression. But obviously he's brainwashed himself thinking that, hey, I'm still a top 3 quarterback. And that might not be true, but there is times where he looks like a top 15 quarterback, and even in some games, top 10. Now, he won't probably be like that every game, but we have seen a significant lift in the offense for Pittsburgh, and I'm very excited to see where they go in the AFC. Them, the Chargers, Buffalo, we'll see the competition against the Chiefs, and it feels like the Chiefs are beatable, but we'll find out this weekend if Buffalo can be the first to do it. Yeah, Russ definitely lost weight. Maybe didn't eat Subway anymore. Hey, have it your way, Russ and the sandwiches, maybe cut back from those. But yeah, I agree with that too. Flag on the play. Yeah, they did. Some organizations make smart moves, some do not, but and he's a better fit than Pittsburgh anyways. So, and you got a better fit with Bo Nix there with Sean Payton. So it all ended up working out. Denver's going to end up having to wait a while to be able to have that all, be in the past, but holding on Brown. 10-3 Washington. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We just need a couple more to get to 20. If you're in the room and haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Just a few more to be able to get to 20. Let's get there, baby. 5 more. Captain's like, he wants a Russ switch. He's like, I need it. Fuck, man, I can't even tell you the last time I had Subway. A year ago. Jalen with the keeper. Good block by Devontae Smith. Sliding in there, almost a first down. 3rd down and 2. Remember Quiznos? I always kind of preferred Quiznos over Subway. I thought the flavors were better, the bread was better. But then, Quiznos went out of business. But I kind of enjoyed going into Quiznos, and I thought their sandwiches tasted a little bit better, personally. Not that Subway has bad sandwiches, but I guess it just depends on who makes the sandwich for you when you're there. Saquon with the short gain. A Belichick sandwich. Yeah, I used to have a Jimmy John's next to my old work. For me, I think Jimmy John's is a little overrated. I don't think their bread really tastes as good as Quiznos, and some of their sandwiches are pretty good. Their owner is kind of a piece of shit, though. There's Goddard. First down, Eagles. Maybe going on all those safari trips, killing all the elephants and all those animals and whatnot. But Jimmy John's. I haven't had Jimmy John's in 3-4 years. There he is, Dallas Goedert. Get him the ball. Wide open. First down, Eagles. Handoff, short game. I don't know. I almost feel like, if you know what you're doing, you can make your own sandwich. If you have certain, materials, you might not necessarily have the sauce that some of those places have. But as far as the other ingredients, if you take the time, you can end up making yourself a sandwich, on that level. But I really think the one thing that most people lack at home is the certain type of sauces, to give it that oomph and that flavor. 2nd down and 10. Yeah, but ever since I've been on this diet, man, all the things that I always wanted to eat and go to Flavor Town, haven't been able to have, burgers or pizza or tacos, or I have been, nice tackle there by Wagner. I've been craving spaghetti, and I don't necessarily have to, go somewhere like, one of the, Olive Garden or pasta places. I, wouldn't mind making it myself, but I think it's worked out, compared to where I was weight-wise, year and a half ago to where I'm at now. So sometimes you got to make sacrifices to be healthier. 3rd down and 6, shotgun set. Jalen, check down, wide open. Saquon, dodges 1, dodges 2. He's open. Look at the speed. 1st down, Eagles. That's exactly what the doctor ordered. 1st down, Philly. Cole in the building. What's good? Do your boy a solid and smash that like button for your boy, Cole. How you doing, Cole? How's your day going? Yeah. I mean, again, it's like I love to eat food and whatnot, but now it's like I can maybe have like one cheat meal a month, maybe. But again, I've been very disciplined, and again, you have to have discipline if you want to be able to make a change in your life, have to have the discipline. But once you start doing it on a regular basis, it becomes second nature. Like if I don't walk 3 times a day, I feel off, because I know Paisley needs it and I need it, and as much as I love being able to grind, on this channel inside, I like being outside to be able to smell that fresh air and, to be able to, get Paisley that bonding time together outside. I really look forward to it every day. Shotgun set, Hurts, bootleg, keeper, down the sideline for a minimal gain. Awesome, man. Well, hopefully if the other individual place ends up being better for you, hopefully that'll work out for you. Good luck. Jalen, floater, one-on-one. Correct individual to be going to in that situation, A.J. Brown, but over his head, incomplete. But again, you already know they're going to make an effort in the 3rd and 4th quarter to go here and here. A little bit of the Slim Reaper, and obviously this is going to be the guy that's going to get all the looks. But if you want to be able to get back in this game, you cannot forget about your main guys at receiver as well as at tight end. But, Washington's done a pretty good job defensively, considering they're, 18th in fantasy and kind of around the middle of the pack. 4th down and 6, kick is up and good. Elliott 2 missed kicks. Elliott 2 made kicks. 10-6, Washington. See you later. All right, Washington, your turn. And with Washington with the lead, they can hand the ball off, kind of bleed the clock. But at some point, they got to get Scary Terry the ball. That's one individual that we haven't really seen a chance to get going yet. The offensive line has got to do a better job. But he's probably benefited the most with the quarterback change and the head coaching change. We'll see if he gets a look on this drive or in the 4th quarter. could be the difference in the game, depending on if it ends up being Scary Terry or A.J. Brown making the big play in the fourth quarter. We're at 15:85 to go. Nice. Is it baseball season yet? Man, I'm itching already. It's like I can always find material to do, for filler stuff, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, whether it's college hoops, NBA, or NHL. But I really do miss baseball. It's always going to be one of my favorite things to do. And again, every year, as long as I'm alive, I'm going to try to do 150 out of 162 games. And, if we end up missing 10 or 12, the only reason that we would is if, we have a football game to do instead, or a wrestling pay-per-view. And, again, it'll give us a chance to be able to get more growth. And hopefully the Mariners can be better than we were this year, and we can be in the playoffs next year. But it'll be interesting to see what the organization does and who we bring back, who we don't, and see how the young guys develop. It'll be exciting for sure. Yeah, I didn't think I would be missing baseball as much as I am, but again, also NASCAR being over, I'm going to feel it on Sundays where, I usually like watching Red Zone and multiple games and the NASCAR race on the Cup Series. Every once in a while, Xfinity or the trucks, but mostly Cup. Short run there by Robinson, short game. But I know some of y'all aren't into the same type of things. It takes a special person to like NASCAR or MLB or NBA or NHL or wrestling, as far as, something other than the norm. But man, it's going to be a little rough. No NASCAR, no baseball for a while. But NASCAR will be back in like February, and then we'll get baseball back in April. So once football pretty much ends, then we're going to transition back into those seasons, and it'll be a good transition. Can't wait for baseball. It'll be awesome. And I ended up going on the Mariner site and whatnot and peeking ahead for the giveaways. They're going to be doing a Cal bobblehead and a Julio bobblehead next year. So I definitely need to get those. So hopefully I'll be able to go to both of those games to acquire those. Don't have a Cal bobble yet, and I already have the Julio first, bobblehead that they've ever done for him, and I believe this will be the second ever. So I got to get my hands on those. Don't really care for the pops. That's more of Megan's thing, but if it's a bobble, yes, please. Yeah, Kingsbury might end up being a head coach next year. There'll definitely be people calling. Yeah, but very cool that they announced that they're doing, Cal and Julio next year, which are the right choices. I mean, unless you were going to do like a pitcher. I mean, at some point you're going to get, a Bryce Miller and a Brian Wu, Kirby, Gilbert, if depending on how long each guy is going to be on there. But I think Julio and Cal are the right choices for the baubles. Definitely got to get the Cal though. And then hopefully one day I'll be able to get the Cal jersey at some point. Jason in the building. What's good? How are you, brother? Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We only need a couple more to hit the goal to get to 20. 3rd down and 5. Shotgun set. Daniels, pressure from behind. Uh-oh, it's 12 noon. You know what time it is. Time for sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Oh, yeah. I mean, if they ended up doing like, the starting rotation bobble, that would be amazing. I don't know what kind of box that would be able to fit in, though. That would be a monster box with 5 baubles. But again, on the open market, that would definitely be like $150 bauble, 100 to 150. But that would be incredible. Just like the photo that I've used on social media where they have all 5 of them standing next to each other. That would be incredible. They were supposed to do a Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey Sr. bauble during COVID, and then they scrapped it. But I was supposed to go to that game to get that because I'm a big Ken Griffey Jr., Ken Griffey Sr. guy. And they were doing it based on when they were both on the Mariners in 1990. And I was kind of crushed that they ended up not reissuing that particular double bauble. I got Randy Johnson and I got Dan Wilson in a double bauble. I got Ichiro and Griffey in a double bauble. And I don't know. I think Mariner bobbleheads to me are like, that's like the coolest thing for me to be able to get. I'd rather get that than a Blazer bauble per se. I think that the Mariners do a pretty good job with their baubles. They actually look like the player for the most part. And, definitely got to get myself to go to at least a couple games going into next year for sure. Thanks for the like on the socials, Jason. Appreciate that. All right, baby. We're at 16. Only 4 more to go to be able to hit the goal. You're in the room now. Oh, there we go. Another one. Appreciate you, Jason, and a few others. 3 more to go to hit the goal. We're at 17 now. We're almost there. Should be able to get there before the game ends. Yeah, but that would be amazing. I would absolutely love that. But they're going to be doing, these are the promotions. Randy Arozarena crossed-armed hoodie. That might be interesting. Julio Rodriguez bat flip bobblehead. Yes, please. I need that. Cal Raleigh bobblehead. Yes, please. I need that. Randy Arozarena bobblehead. I don't know why they're doing the hoodie and the bobble of Randy. What about Victor Robles? They could have did a Victor Robles bobblehead. I would have rather had that than Randy. J.P. Crawford basketball jersey. That's unusual. And then a Logan Gilbert Funko Pop. So really, I don't care about the Randy bobblehead, the JP basketball jersey, the Logan Gilbert Funko Pop. I don't care. The hoodie of Randy, I don't care. But the Julio bat flip bobble and the Cal bobble, those are the ones that I want. So those are going to be the 6 promotions as far as like the bigger items that they're going to do. So, and how come we don't have any of the pitchers? Like why not Brian Wu? Something. Or a George Kirby or a Logan Gilbert. I get it if you don't want to do, some of the pitchers, like Luis Castillo. We wouldn't expect that. But why not a Brian Wu? Why not a Bryce Miller? Those guys. If you don't want to do Kirby and Gilbert, why not go for kind of the younger guys? I think that would have been a little bit better as far as marketing. Instead of doing 2 Randy items, why not do one, Brian Wu and one Bryce Miller or George Kirby or Logan Gilbert? I mean, I would rather see those 4 guys rather than Randy. Hell, I'd rather have a Victor Robles than Randy, but I'm not the one making the decisions. Unbelievable. 2 Randy items? What are they smoking over there? Come on, Mariners. I mean, Robles should have an item 100% as well as the pitching staff. I mean, if you want to not give it to Castillo, I agree with that. But the other 4 pitchers are deserving. Robles is deserving. But I believe this will be Cal's first bobble. Or no, maybe second bobble. I'll have to look it up to see how many bobbles have come out. Maybe second bobble for Cal. I think they did like the walk-off home run bobble, but I wasn't able to get it, so. First down and 10, shotgun set, play action, bootleg, scrambling, running to his left, wide open. There's A.J. Brown. First down, Eagles. There you go, get into a rhythm. Jalen to A.J. Move the chains. Bang, bang. Shotgun set. Hurts. Plenty of time back there. There you go. The Devontae Smith, Slim Reaper. Short game, but they got him the ball. And then a flag on the play. Face mask. Laundry on the field. End of the third quarter. 10-6 Commandos. And then some of the Mariner fans chimed in. No Mitch Garver strikeout swing bobble. Oh, shit. And then the person says, Randy cross arm bobble, but the arms that bobble. Now that's unique. That would be cool. That if the arms bobble, see, you get some people that are creative out there. They said Cal Raleigh bobblehead should be a bobble dumper. Oh, that would be hilarious. I would prefer that the head would bobble, but, Saquon short game. And end of the third quarter, 10-6, Washington. Well, I don't think the offense is shit. It's just that they're shit today because the defensive lines have been great for both teams. Both of these teams have the capability of scoring 20, 30 points almost at ease. But again, if your offensive line can't protect and, you can't really get enough going offensively for run blocking and pass protection, this is the type of game that you get. You get teams that, we're known for offense, but the defenses have come to play. And that's why on paper, oh man, this one could be, 34-28, 28-24. Oh, this one could have been 31-28. But instead, of having a high scoring affair, the defenses came to play and it's a 10-6. But early in the stream, we had an Eagle fan come in here, not you, Michael, and said easy win. And then you ended up having 2 missed kicks by Elliott and Washington scored first. So, the sports gods, they listen, So sometimes when people are going to be a little bit too confident, in their team and not being as humble and knowing that Washington isn't the same team they were, a few years ago or even last year, they're making it definitely a little bit more competitive. And obviously me being a defensive-minded guy, I enjoy these type of games. But on the flip side, I still need points. I want a defensive-minded game, but at least get me to 20, for both teams. So that way we get the defense, we get the interceptions, we get the fumbles, maybe we get a pick, but no fumbles for touchdowns, no pick sixes, no punch outs. It's been pretty much sack lunches and just not really a whole lot of offense. So, Philly's defense is typically top 5 this year with Vic Fangio, but Washington's, defense is normally middle of the pack, but they're looking today very similar to Philadelphia. So. All right, fourth quarter. And I feel this year more than kind of normal, every game that you see on the slate, it's like almost the opposite happens. Like Captain thinks that the Steelers-Browns game is going to be terrible. It probably will be better than this one, But again, looking on paper, these two teams are playoff teams. With the Browns and the Steelers, you only have one playoff team, the Steelers. But if Jameis is slinging it, to Tillman and Chubb looks like Chubb, you might end up getting more points in that particular game and have it be a little bit more exciting, as them playing spoiler and underdog as a trap game for Pittsburgh, because again, on paper, that doesn't look like it's going to be that great, but we thought this was going to be awesome, and it's been a little lackluster up to this point, but we still got one quarter to see if they can make up for it. First down. Move the chains. He's still waiting for that electricity. But again, for Jalen and some of these individuals to be able to go to A.J. Brown, to go to the Slim Reaper, Devontae Smith, to go to Dallas Goedert, the offensive line needs to do better. And of course, you can always rely on this, and it's a good thing to be able to have in your back pocket. If you're the Eagles and you have Saquon, or if you're the Ravens and things are a little weary, you can go to Henry. But at some point, with all these, bootlegs and play actions, offensive line needs to do a better job. But again, defensive lines have been winning the battle at the line of scrimmage for both teams, Washington and Philly. Offensive lines look a little lost for Washington and Philadelphia. First down and 10. Handoff right up the gut. Kenneth Gainwell, little change of pace back. First down, Eagles. Nice job by Lane Johnson heading the way with the blocking spree. Nice positive run by Gainwell. All right, Jalen, show me now. Handoff again. Wow, Gainwell, look at the speed. Again, sometimes, you just need a guy that's going to run downhill. And Gainwell, as soon as he gets the ball, he's already at 15 miles an hour. Look at that. Look at that block up front by Goedert. That was beautiful. Nice job, Goedert. And now they're threatening for a touchdown, and it feels like they're going to get it. Two great runs by Gainwell. You could always give him a look, obviously, in a screen or a bubble screen or a jet sweep or reverse. Shotgun set. Gainwell again. Why not, right? I mean, he's already had two really good positive gains. Keep giving him the ball. They do not have an answer for Kenneth Gainwell. Maybe should have done a little bit more of Kenneth Gainwell in the first half. Saquon back in. Second down and 3 as Jayden Daniels looks on. Man in motion, A.J. Brown, second down and 3. Hand off Saquon, bouncing it to the outside. Touchdown, Eagles! Oh, wow, they're going to call him down? It looked like he was in. Can we see a replay? I mean, he'll get in on the next play with a dive, but... Let's see where the knee was. Is he in or out? Oh, just short. Good call. And now it's either going to be a tush push or... Yep, tush push. Touchdown! Reflect. And again, Saquon Barkley fantasy owners frown upon that. Jalen Hurts fantasy owners happy that he finally got in the end zone. (12-10) Eagles. Extra point is up. Wow, no good. 2 missed field goals by Jake Elliott and a missed extra point. And imagine if they end up losing this game by 1, 2, or 3. High probability now. Uh-oh. Jake Elliott fantasy owners, cover your eyes. Brutal. This could have been a 10-point game for a kicker with Elliott or higher. Unfortunate. All right, Commandos, your turn. Let's see what we got here. 12-10 Eagles. I don't know if anyone anticipated this score. Yeah. Again, Scary Terry, not having anything yet for Elliott, and with Jake Elliott as the kicker, not ideal. I mean, everyone has been producing except for so far. Jaden Daniels is a little bit low number. Scary Terry, they haven't been able to get him the ball. But as far as all the other Eagle and Washington weapons, numbers are halfway decent. I mean, Jalen is one of those guys that, even if he doesn't throw a touchdown pass, can still get to 15 or 20, with the tush push and whatnot, and, getting in with the legs. And again, if you get a quarterback that can run in, with the legs, with Jalen Hurts, Lamar, Josh Allen, it is a huge advantage in fantasy. Unless you have Joe Burrow or Brock Purdy, those are really the only pocket quarterbacks that can put up the same type of numbers, at least this year. But if you don't have those guys, then you're pretty fucked. Daniels, little check down. Gain of 9 there for Jaden Daniels. We're at 15, 85 to go. First down, Commandos. Move the chains. And we need 3 more likes to get to 20. Let's get there. 3 more. That's it. Vic Fangio turned that defense around, being one of the worst defenses in the league and being top 5 this year. Man in motion. Daniels. Play action fake. Pressure. And complete. Just doesn't have enough time to be able to go through his progressions. Sweat all up in his business. It's been a weird year this year in 2024 in the NFL. Shotgun set. Daniels. There we go. First down, Commandos. So bad it hurts, Zach Ertz. Move the chains. Daniels, a little bootleg towards the sideline. Finally, Scary Terry. Give it back to Scary Terry again. And they're getting into a little bit of a groove and a little bit of a rhythm. Ertz, Scary Terry. Use your legs, bud. At some point, he's going to have to use his legs. And he's trying to stay in the pocket for the most part. You know, but sometimes you're going to have to turn into that Lamar Jackson, and you're going to have to be able to just run it yourself. You know, and it's not necessarily being a selfish player, but if you're down by 2, you know, and again, some of the throws, you're not really having a whole lot of time. Sometimes you just got to make a decision and go and run. I mean, he's capable. Trips left, shotgun set, blitz off the edge. Robinson should have been a first down on that particular run, but Nakobe Dean and company say not today. Jalen Carter says sit down. Yeah, it's just wild. Yeah, I mean, crazy year. Yeah, and it's very possible it could be a 7-7 type of team or 8-6 for sure. Third down and 1. Daniels, hands off. And you can't, I mean, Robinson is very capable of getting big first downs, but you have to know who you're playing against. And if you know that the defensive line and the linebackers have been killing it all day on both sides, why are you running a play right up the gut? It's like running right into like Warren Sapp or Aaron Donald. It's not going to work. You know, if you're going to run a play like that, run like a jet sweep, a reverse, bubble screen. You got to be a little bit more creative with the play calling. Running it right up the gut is not going to work. It might have worked for Kenneth Gainwell on the other side, but, I mean, come on. Wake up. 4th down and 2, and they said, fuck it. Oh, broken play. Now Daniels has to run and doesn't get the first down. Great defense by Philly. Terrible play calling by Washington. Wow. Horrible decision-making by Washington there. Should have kicked the field goal. I mean, only being up by 1 is, not ideal, but you'll take it. You don't know how the flow of the game is going to go. And you'll probably get the ball back again, even if you're up by 1. Maybe you hold them to a field goal, then they obviously go up by 2, and then maybe you get the ball and kick the game-winning field goal, because 13-12, 15-13, and then 16-15. It could have went that route, but again, sometimes, you're going to end up, making the right read, but that was very unfortunate there. All right, Eagles, your turn. Hold on. Yeah, them and the Blackhawks 0-0. End of the first period. If you haven't smashed that like button just yet, please do. Austin, Judah, or any of the individuals that have come in late. Need a few more to be able to get there. Do your boy a solid. Great angle there by Philadelphia, not letting Daniels even get close to being able to get that first down. Appreciate that. Anytime you end up leaving points on the board, you typically lose 100% of the time. So we'll see how the outcome goes. But, obviously if Philadelphia gets a touchdown, it's over. If they hold them to a field goal, obviously then the pressure to be able to get that touchdown is when maybe Philly will get that pick to end the game. But not a smart decision. And, I don't know why these teams do these specific things. But, again, the play calling here in the fourth quarter has been atrocious for Washington. They tried to mirror what Gainwell was doing in Saquon. But, again, it might work on one side, but that doesn't mean it's going to work with Robinson and Eckler like it was working for Saquon Barkley as well as Kenneth Gainwell. Man in motion. 2nd down and 7. Play action fake. Hurts. Going deep, got a man open. Uh-oh, Dallas got it. Fumble! Oh! There was their chance right there. That was Washington's chance to come back and win the game, and they blew it. Wow. Great defense, knocking that ball out, but wow. Nice catch by Goddard. Punches the football out, and luckily they had another Philadelphia Eagle there to scoop it up. My goodness. Shotgun set. Hurts. And again, the Philadelphia has to win the game. They can't just hang on, because again, if they just try to hang on, they're not necessarily going to win. You're going to have to mix in the throws and the runs. Just trying to bleed the clock out might not be the answer. But you can definitely tell Washington's getting a little tired. And obviously their run defense isn't as good as Philly's at this point in the game. Hell, if I'm Philadelphia here, put Gainwell back in the game. Again, he's got that burst. 2nd down and 9, you could end up getting a first down on this run, but Saquon's still in the game. You got to know your personnel. Shotgun set. A.J. Brown with the catch. 3rd down. Big 3rd down here for Washington if they want to be able to make this a game. Big call. Play of the game right here. Well, Philadelphia, even though Elliott has missed 2 kicks and an extra point, we'll see what they do. But I would assume they'll just go for it on 4th down. It'll be almost essentially like a punt anyway. See how deep they are. First down, and this game's over. Touchdown, Eagles! There it is. Game over. Saquon throws it into the crowd, and this game is over. O-V-A. You don't take a field goal when you should, and you end up losing the game. Nice job by Saquon. Great block. Nice job, Saquon. Extra point, almost missed, but goes in barely and is good. This game is over. Okay. Yeah, but not, the simple fact of not taking the field goal when they should have taken the field goal, that was the end of you, because you just got to understand how the flow of the game is going to go. If you would have kicked the field goal and you're down 19-13, and then you get a touchdown, you could have won the game, or at least, made it interesting. But now, being down by 9, there's no chance whatsoever. And again, good coaches know, how the different point spreads are going to go. If you do this scenario and you kick the 3, if you don't, you have to look at the positive and the negative. You go for it, and you get it, great. But if you don't get it, and then the other team scores a touchdown and you're down by 9, the game's over. But again, I imagine that a lot of the coaches on Washington weren't thinking that, and they don't think that at that particular moment. They always think of the positive that's going to happen, not what happens if we don't get it. And you have to look at that type of scenario and weigh out your options. But obviously, being in field goal range, it wasn't going to be like a 60-yarder where it could have been maybe like debatable. They definitely, and there's no guarantee that even if they would have kicked the field goal and the score's 19-13 right now, there's no guarantee Washington comes back and gets a touchdown and wins. But at least it gives them a chance. But at this point now, you have to score. Then you got to get an onside kick, and then you got to kick a field goal, and the chances of all those things happening are like 0. So. All right, Washington, your turn. Show us something. Dan Carter had some off-the-field issues and some attitude issues, but on the field, he is a dog. A little dirty. Probably maybe one of the dirtier players in the NFL. But again, pretty solid player overall, Jalen Carter. May not be as dirty as like an Ndamukong Suh and whatnot, but definitely has some of that in him. He's got a little bit of the dog, but he definitely goes a little bit above and beyond sometimes. I think that's a fair assessment. Play action fake. Daniels. Intercepted. Did it hit the ground, though? I don't think it did. Nice pick by Blankenship. And, of course, you already know they're going to put themselves in a position to get the pick when they're up by 9 and Washington has to throw, and then they end up getting that pick, and now it's over. Nice job, Reed. Well, the game didn't really give you a lot in the first half, but, again, second half, we found the team that found a way to get the job done. Nice job, baby. And pretty crazy with 2 missed field goals and an extra point, and it didn't even matter. And sometimes that's just the luck of the draw. You're playing into the defense's hands, especially when you're down by 8 or 9 late, because they know you're not going to run the ball. They know you're going to pass. And so obviously if they set you up in good pass coverage, the pick is coming. And, it didn't take very long for them to get it and to end this game. First down and 10, halfback toss. Saquon almost gets loose. Gain of about 6. Yeah, 0-0 against the Blackhawks. Almost feels like a whole nother aura or vibe, going from that defense that was dog shit last year. You get Vic Fangio, and it made all the difference, as well as Bobby King and a few of these other coaches on that defensive side of the ball. They want to say it's players, but really it comes down to coaches, and if you get the right type of coaches, we can turn shit around. And sometimes it only takes 1 year to turn it around. When you get someone that is as smart as a Vic Fangio, who's got a great reputation of turning shit around and turning shit around very quickly. Saquon, goodbye. Oh my. Saquon Barkley. You got him in fantasy. You're loving life. Wish I had Saquon. Oh my. Washington has given up. It's not often you see a kicker miss 2 field goals, an extra point, and you're still going to win by 15 or more. Unbelievable. I'm going to try to give you a challenge, Reflect. This is the most I've been able to be projected since week 1, with all my guys in there, but still may not be enough. But at least I have a lineup that's respectable that I was hoping to have all year, instead of having it 1 week for week 1, and then I got to wait till week 11 before I have another good lineup. I got to go 10 weeks with dog shit, but we'll see, because I'm going to have a pretty, hard last 4 weeks, but we'll see where it goes. But I probably will still lose, but even if I lose, at least I know I'm going to put up some points with at least some of my guys, which is good. I mean, hell, if I was able to have McCaffrey and Kupp, I would have been projected 125 to 130 and been first, second, or third every week. But, I guess that's where the cookie crumbles sometimes. But at least I'll be able to hopefully have a decent lineup the rest of the way. But unfortunately, I'm too far behind to make it to the playoffs. So, but, if I could somehow, some way get as close to 500 as possible, obviously some people in our league have quit, and that's disappointing. Some people have gotten extremely lucky and made like barely any moves, and they, haven't been able to have the injury bug hit them, and they're going to the playoffs, but hopefully I'll be able to put up some good points and make it at least interesting for you to sweat it out at least a little bit. But Mahomes, Kareem Hunt, Christian McCaffrey, Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, Mark Andrews, Tillman, Lions D, Bates, Lions kicker. We'll see where it goes. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be against the Cowboys, and so if he plays, obviously it'll be a big night, but we just, don't know if he will play or, if they will make it like a game time decision and whatnot. That'll be up to you. And that's a tough one too. Whenever you have a guy that's injured and they play on Monday, like if you don't have another option on the team, for the Cowboys or the Texans, then or if there's someone that you can pick up, if you decide to go that route and then they decide to sit him. But I hate when guys play on Monday and they have an injury designation, because there's always a chance that they say, oh, he's going to play. And then it comes to the game and all your other guys on the bench have played already. And then they say, nope, he's not playing. And then you end up getting a 0. So. Yeah, you probably want to be safe and play with someone that actually is going to play instead of waiting till Monday. That probably would be your best bet. Because, if my guys hit, there's a chance that I could put up 125 to 150 this week. But, knowing my luck, I probably won't. And I still got guys on the bench that I could plug in. I got Downs. I got Pearsall, Pollard, Shakir. So, I got other options if I want to go with someone other, than like Devontae Adams, or, if I want to flip it up a little bit. If I don't want to go Tillman, but... Little screen pass. Minimal gain. But it's the first time that I've actually had a decent number all year besides week 1. Every other week it's been like, projected for fucking 100 or 95 or 105 or 110. And, it's like I'm used to seeing my number be the highest in the league, being projected for 120 to 130, not 100, but it is what it is. But I won't have to worry about it next year, so I'll be good. 3rd down and 2, 26-10, Philly. 4 wide, shotgun set. Daniels. Flag on the play, one-handed grab there by Zach Ertz. Take a look at the laundry on the field. But for the time being, nice catch by So Bad It Hurts Zach Ertz, going against his former team, Philadelphia. No foul on the play. Crazy. Jalen doesn't even have a passing touchdown, and you're at 18, almost 19. I wish I had that luxury all year, to have someone like that. But it shows you, if you don't have a good quarterback, you're fucked. That's the bottom line. You don't got Lamar, you don't got Allen, you don't got Hurts, or if you don't have Burrow or Brock Purdy for guys that stay in the pocket, you don't have those 5 quarterbacks, you're not doing shit in fantasy. That's just the unfortunate truth. Got to have a dual quarterback, and if you don't, you better have Burrow or Purdy, and if you don't have those two, then you're not going to the playoffs. I hate when people quit. I get it. Usually the person that's in last place, quits. But again, for someone that actually could still make the playoffs, and you're still making moves during the week, but then you're just giving up and like leaving a spot open. That pisses me off. Because again, if you were going to do that, then you shouldn't have even accepted or wanted, you were saying, oh, I want to play this year. And then, it's not even, we're not even in the playoffs yet or anything like that. And to give up when you actually still have a chance to make the playoffs, that's not good whatsoever. It's one thing to quit if you're in last place, and usually that's a thing that happens kind of towards the end, but I've never seen anybody in our league ever quit, when they're actually a playoff team, potentially. But that's the way that it goes. And again, I'm not going to do the league tomorrow. That's another reason why I'm not going to do it. I can't have multiple people quitting in something that, I'm doing a fucking 150 to 200 moves, and I'm trying everything to be able to, just to get to 4th place. when you got someone that could get there and that's not even completing the job. Very disappointing. But that's how it goes, Some people are built for it. And if anyone was going to quit, it fucking should be me, based on everything that I've gone through this year. I could have just dumped all my fucking players and just said, fuck it, but I didn't. I'm more frustrated than anybody in the fucking league. I care more than anyone else, obviously, with all the moves that I'm making, So if anyone should have quit, it should have been me. And even if I didn't quit, then there should be no reason for anyone at the bottom or in the middle to fucking quit, but that's how it goes. Some people are built for it and they're going to not quit on things, and other people quit on things, and that's just in their DNA, I guess. Unfortunate. Second down and 1. Good defensive stop there by Philly. Again, and then some people, are incredibly lucky, like Zini. She's made minimal moves and is pretty much just relying on her starting 9 and not really giving a shit about the bench, and hasn't had to really, make any moves, and has probably been using 10 people total pretty much throughout the whole year, and almost the same 9 throughout the whole year, and has been winning. And that's very rare to make, 5 moves all year and pretty much use your starting 9 and not having really to make that many changes and still winning. It's very, very rare. But again, if you end up having top 10 players and they don't get hurt, then that's what happens, But for some of us, we've had injuries galore, and I've had to make an incredible amount of moves just to get a couple wins, Definitely not fair to the rest of the people in the league that are trying. But again, that's another reason why we won't be doing it next year or maybe even forever. 4th down and 2. Fantasy is definitely a little bit about luck, but there's definitely some skill. To get to the playoffs in the regular season, mad skill, and then obviously a little bit of luck with the injuries. But then once it gets to the playoffs, it's more about luck. You got to be able to have the right matchups, hopefully, and hopefully you've been able to survive the injury bug. But sometimes it ends up just, falling to who you play and how many green matchups you have, and if hopefully you have enough power hitters at that point. But sometimes the champion, ends up being with a little bit of luck. There's obviously some skill in the playoffs too, no doubt about that. But more skill in the regular season, a little bit more luck and skill, obviously, in the playoffs. Because sometimes the best team doesn't win in the playoffs. Because sometimes the matchups end up just being horrendous, for the team that ends up being number 1 or number 2 seed, where they end up dominating the whole year. And then once it gets to the playoffs, they have like the worst possible rivalry matchups within the division. And then they just don't score enough, to be able to win it. It's kind of unfair, but Zach Ertz with the catch. First down, Washington. First down and 10. Little screen pass. Noah Brown and Scary Terry almost non-existent. Cracking goal, baby. Well, for a game that Washington could have, ended up winning this game, or at least making it more competitive. But once they didn't go for that field goal, then they just kind of gave up. Shotgun set. Daniels. And if you notice in this particular game too, if Daniels would have made more of an effort to run, and get some of those first downs and extend plays, even though he's trying to be a pocket quarterback, it hurt him. It hurt the team today. Like I said, again, he's not going to be like a Lamar, but there's going to be certain game scripts where he's going to have to be for Washington if they're going to be more competitive. Pass incomplete. Nice, Matty B. And it's Connor Badad. Blackhawks. Had his hands on it too, Zach Ertz. Second and goal. Touchdown, Washington. So bad it hurts Zach Ertz. There you go. A little too late, though, at this point. But again, that'll be something that he'll have to learn, even though, he probably doesn't want to be known as like Lamar 2.0 or the Lamar of the NFC, but again, he has to be able to understand we don't want you to get hurt like AR, but again, and Daniels is going to be more mature. He's going to be in the pocket. He's going to try to get all his teammates involved, but also he has to be able to look in the mirror and understand that, you're going to be faster than most of the guys on the offense. And if the look is there, you got to take it. You got to run. And be able to get to the outside, get first downs, and maybe even sometimes be a little selfish and run it in yourself instead of, maybe handing it off to Robinson or Eckler or going to Scary Terry or Ertz, because at the end of the day, if you're costing your team points by, being trying to be too much of a good teammate and not running the ball when you need to be running the ball. And I'm not saying that he needs to run the ball a lot, but that he's got to be able to, read the defense. And again, you're going to have to be able to sometimes, for a non-selfish player, you have to make it about you, as being the quarterback and to be able to help your team win. And I assume that he will learn that as he gets more mature. And depending on if he has Kingsbury, he might not even have Kingsbury as the OC, obviously, next year because he'll probably be a head coach. So we'll see what happens next year. But for a guy that's got the speed, that is so unselfish and wants to get everyone involved, sometimes you got to be the guy. You got to turn into Lamar and use your legs and help your team win. I mean, if he would have done that more in the third and fourth quarter and they kicked the field goal, maybe the game is much closer right now. Maybe it's like a 3-point game rather than, being put down by 10 at this point. So Megan with a 20. Benitez. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks. Little cactus jack. Bang, bang. Let's go. Kraken. 1-0. Benitez scores. Boom. Shaka. Laka. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Let me know what you want to do for photos, and I got you. Nice job, Maddie. Look at Ertz. Little toe drag swag. I love it. Nice toe drag swag. Now they're reviewing it, but it's obviously good. Let's go, Kraken. Let's get a dub. 26-18. $35, 65 to go. 15 more to 50, 65 more to the goal. Great job by Zach Ertz. You don't really see an aging tight end that's on the brink of retirement make a toe drag swag play like that, either for a touchdown or a 2-point conversion. And even more bittersweet against his former team. But again, doesn't lead to a win. But, at least for his stat line, it looks pretty good. God, could you imagine? Could you imagine they get the onside kick, they end up getting the touchdown, and then they get the 2-point conversion? That would be fucking wild. Nice. And then let me know, since you're bouncing back and forth with that, what other photos you want, and we'll get you a few photos before I end the stream. So we'll probably stay on maybe 5 or 10 minutes after the game ends, and then I'll do some photos for the people that donated. And then tomorrow we're doing the Huskies and the Bruins. Saturday, and then we'll also watch the Mike Tyson fight as well. That starts obviously I think at 5 o'clock Pacific, but there's like 5 or 6 boxing matches up to the Mike Tyson fight, but that'll be on Netflix. But we'll do Huskies and Bruins. Then on Saturday we're going to do Ducks and the Badgers. Sunday we're going to do the Bengals and the Chargers. Onside recovered by the Eagles. And then Monday it'll be the Cowboys and the Texans. And now this one looks like it is over with the recovery of the onside kick. Anything that you want to be able to see photo-wise? Megan, appreciate your support. And essentially now this one is over. And there it is. Final score, 26-18, Philadelphia. You want just like some of your regulars? All right, we'll stay on here for another like 7-8 minutes. I'll just go down a lot of Megan's favorites. And I got to go take Paisley on another long walk. Hopefully we don't get soaked. And then I'm excited for Tyson Paul tomorrow, as well as the Huskies and the Bruins. Should be fun. Damn, Shep with 48, 33.8 out of Saquon, and Robinson with 14.2. Rough one for Elliott. 2 with McLaurin and 6 with Elliott. That's tough. And Jalen not even throwing a touchdown pass, getting 18.74. Nice job, Reflect. I'm going to delete some of these other photos here real quick. And I'm not sure if Megan is in the room but I want to make sure we get the proper photos based off the dono. And then I got to go take Paisley for a walk and go eat dinner. And we'll get ready for Huskies and Bruins, as well as Tyson and Paul tomorrow. And hopefully some of the other pre-card matchup boxing matches for tomorrow end up being pretty solid. Reflect with a tenner. Appreciate you. 5 more to be able to get at least half of the goal. Thank you so much. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. $10 holla. Thank you so much. Anything specific you want to see, Reflect? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Guys just beat the Mavs. And Reflect says, I'll take care of it. Thank you so much, man. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Thank you. Appreciate it. I mean, and then Captain says, let me get in on that too as well. Thank you so much. Now we're at 55, 45 to go. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. All right, let me know what you guys want for photos for the 3 of you that just donated. Thank you, guys. It's okay, Captain. Getting the extra 5 always helps. Because you got to think, with YouTube and Google taking a percentage, that's why we always have to shoot for the moon and the stars, to be able to make up for the amount that is taken away from me. So, but let me know for the people that are in the room, for the donos, any kind of photos that I can get for you. And if Megan ends up being in the other chat, I can always get photos for her tomorrow or on the weekend. And we can go on a nice photo train at that particular point. But Reflect and Captain, anything that you guys want to be able to see? Gino? Okay, I got you. Let's go that route. I mean, all 3 of you guys are, all in the same group there for, Pacific Northwest and obviously for the Hawks. So. Got you. Perfect. We'll get the photos for obviously all 3 of y'all, and then depending on Megan and her availability, if she doesn't come back, then I will owe her a number of photos on the next stream. And hopefully you guys will get a win against the Niners this weekend. I believe Gino's 0 for 5 against the Niners, so this would be a big win, to be able to get a dub against the rival. Megan disappears, comes back. Another 20. Appreciate your support. helmet off the photo there a little bit. There we go. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little Cactus Jack bang bang. We're at 65, 35 to go to hit the goal. Megan says, I'm going to do this myself. Another 20. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Cactus Jack, bang, bang, bang. Thank you so much. Photos for days and nights. Thank you so much. I think we're $5 away from the goal. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Cactus Jack, bang, bang, bang. We owe photos for all the Hawk fans in the room. Bang, 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 bang. Another 20. Now we're over a goal at this point. Thank you guys so much for your love and your generosity. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. And another Cactus Jack, baby. Thank you. 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 Appreciate you guys very, very much. I love it. I appreciate it very, very much. Let's start it here since Megan's in the room now, and then we'll get some of these ones in here, and then I'll continue to do more Seahawks, and then we'll stay here in the room for a little bit longer, try to make sure we get everyone taken care of. Paisley will have to wait just a few more minutes. No cracking. Now we shifted over to some of the other favorites. That's a handsome fella. That's a handsome fella. Another handsome fella. Handsome fella. Another handsome fella. Hello. And then now we'll go into the Seahawks. Reflect with a threer. So I'm going to add on to this. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Appreciate the Hawks support. You know, hopefully one day we'll get support from other fan bases. But, you know, you guys are the king and queens, you know, of the Dono Trains. And we used to have more support from, you know, the Eagles fan base and the Chief fan base. Some of those people have disappeared. But it's nice to be able to know that the Pacific Northwest fans have not turned their back on the NWSF or me and Paisley. And I appreciate that very, very much. Some people come and go, and some people will be lifers, and I appreciate you guys very much. I started watching My Name is Earl from the very beginning of the show. I don't think I've seen a show that has made me laugh and tear up as much as that show for being like a sitcom. You know, obviously dealing with karma and the bad things that Earl did and the way that he creates the list to try to right his wrongs. I knew the show was good, and my dad recommended it to me. Saw a couple episodes when it aired like 20 years ago, but I never realized how good it was written and how good the cast was in that show. You know, I'm watching that. I'm watching Walking Dead, True Blood, a few shows, but that is the show that I've been definitely binging the last couple nights, and it has been fantastic. Just like you Hawk fans, I appreciate y'all. Oh, really? See, there's my fun fact of the day that I knew someone was going to teach me something today. 15th of December, 40 years since the 12th jersey was retired. Nice. Make me smarter. Educate me. I mean, they're not only just awesome, but they're the ones that are holding it down. I mean, there's no other fan base that holds it down than those three that are in the room right now with Captain and Reflect and Megan. You know, we used to have others, you know, from other fan bases that would hold it down, but there's no one that holds it down better than the Hawk fans. Appreciate it very, very much. And we are Northwest sports fanatics, right? So makes sense. And I'll definitely be rooting for you guys very, very heavily to beat the Niners. Well, some of the people that we had that represented the Chiefs, we still got Chief World Chief and Odin, but we used to have a lot more, that would support the channel. And some people have come and gone, and some people will stop by occasionally, but it kind of goes in motions, And hopefully we'll get some of those people to be able to support me and Paisley and the channel again, down the road. But we want to make sure we appreciate the people that are here on the daily basis. The people that actually want me to succeed, the people that actually want me and Paisley to be able to keep doing this dream so I can take care of her and we can have a good place where we can talk about sports and life and, being able to continue this. So. And again, it's like, I don't need to be rich. I just need to be able to pay my bills and take care of Paisley. That's it. And then, hopefully get a chance to be able to give back, if I can. And I typically do. So. Well, that's going to be up to you because, we tried that for a while, and then you wanted to go over into Valhalla stream and you left us here, right? And now you're back, so, and then we tried having Matt do it and then he quit on the position and the fantasy league. So, it's going to take a special individual to be able to be lead mod for this channel. Other channels don't have a problem with a lead mod, but fortunately we have a problem with it here. But that's a personal choice for you. I mean, if that's something that you want to do, then I'd be happy to have you, but I don't want to force you to do something that you don't want to do down the road and quit again. Like I said, if you want to be able to have the role and you feel that you can handle it, then, great. If you just want to be a fill-in person, again, but it's a big responsibility. And that's why, people get tantalized, when other channels have more subs or more people in the room. There's always going to be other channels, that are going to be enticing, to be able to make your name for yourself over there and whatnot. But, I'm looking for loyalty. I'm looking for consistency, and again, you and Matt tried, and I appreciated it every single day that you guys put in the hard work. But again, I don't want you to force yourself to do it. Again, that has to be a personal choice on you, if that's something that you want to do. Otherwise I'll, continue to, pretty much do the, main, lead mod duties. And then we'll have at least one person, fill in and help to the best of their ability. But I don't want to force you to do something that you think that you won't be able to do, down the road. So, that maybe think about it, if you want to go that route. But, being a lead mod for any channel is going to be tough, let alone a channel like mine that I'm doing streaming pretty much every day. That's and especially on top of that, if you have work, and people have jobs, which most people do, it's a hard balance to be able to have a regular job and to be a lead mod. Or even if you're just doing lead mod and you have no other job at the time, if you're getting unemployment or whatever, it's a hard thing, and like I said, I appreciate every single person that has tried to be able to do the duty. It's not an easy thing to do, especially with how hardcore I am and how consistent I am with, working pretty much every day. But again, if you want to be able to help, that would be awesome, but again, that's going to be kind of up to you on what you feel comfortable with. with what you're doing. So, I mean, if you want to have that role, you know, and then if things change, you know, I think the main thing for me is communication, you know, and again, it's like if you feel like you don't want to do it, you know, you have to speak up. And I think that is an issue with, you know, a lot of people. They're afraid to be able to talk to me, you know, with you, like you and Matt, you know, and sometimes, you know, if you want to be a lead mod or a mod somewhere else, you know, you just need to say so, you know, if you don't want to do it anymore, you know, you just got to say so, you know, and I think that's communication, like I said, is a huge thing, not only in relationships, but friendships as well. But again, if you want to be able to do it, great. But again, I'm not forcing anyone to do something that they don't feel that they want to do, you know, but if you want to do it, then we'll be happy to have you. And then if things change, and you got to talk to me and let me know. So. But again, being a lead mod isn't easy. But again, you know, communication, you know, instead of just, you know, quitting, you know, talk to me, you know. But again, some people have a harder time communicating than others. So, I mean, because like I said, if it has to end up just being me doing it, I mean, I don't like saying like, sub, donate, comment, share fucking 50 times a stream. But again, if I don't have anyone that I can rely on, I have to be able to try to get the likes up, to get the, you know, donos up, you know, because otherwise, if I don't say anything, fuck, I don't know. We some streams we might be at a 0 just because it's not being said or it's not being typed in the chat. So I got to take care of myself, and I got to try to do the best that I can do without annoying people in the room with the repetitive over and over and over, you know. But again, if we can have people that will help, then that would be great. Take care. I appreciate you and all the support. Huskies and Bruins tomorrow. If you can make it, that would be great. I got a few more photos that I'm going to sprinkle in for you guys for the Hawks here. But sometimes the grass isn't greener on the other side. You know, it's always nice to be able to have, you know, another following and everything like that, you know, but we definitely have special people that are a part of this channel, and that's ultimately what we want. We want to make sure we keep the brotherhood and the sisterhood, and we keep that all intact. So. Take care. Anything else you want to be able to see, Megan, before I go? I'm going to sprinkle in a little bit of Largent for you. Anything that you want here before I go? I got to go take Paisley on a walk and eat dinner and whatnot, and then we'll be live tomorrow for Huskies and Bruins, as well as we watching Mike Tyson and Paul go at it. All right, got you. Thank you so much for your support, not only in the college hoop stream, but this one as well. Means a lot. For all the hard work and the blood, sweat, and tears that's put in, all the effort. Means a lot. Thank you so much. No worries. You definitely have done an exceptional job of holding it down for us here. So, like I said, for the people that end up supporting, I appreciate every amount of effort that's put in. Appreciate you very, very much. I'm going to scroll through all these one more time, and then I'm going to call it a day, and then I can always get you some more photos tomorrow or the weekend whenever you have some more time. That's not a problem. Appreciate you very much. Let's go through these one more time. Yeah, you take care of yourself, Cole, and then once you get to a point, if you feel that that's something that you can do, that would be great. But if you can't, that's no worries. You just even helping out with filling in for, little help with mod duties and whatnot with the likes and the donos and keeping track of that will definitely be, enough. Like I said, as long as we have one person, being able to help, but if we have two, that definitely makes it even better, to one person taking care of the likes, maybe another person helping out with the donos or both. You never can have enough support in a stream, period. So that way I don't have to say like, sub, donate, comment, share, so many times throughout the stream. But because if it was my choice, I would love not to say it at all, not even once. But, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes people need to see it in the chat. Sometimes people need to hear it to kind of get things started. So, or for it to continue. And hopefully we can get a Kraken win. So when I get back from my walk, hopefully it'll say Kraken, X, Kraken, Y, whatever, where we're at. But hopefully we can end up getting the dub against Chicago. No worries. 1-0, nice. Well, thank you so much for your generosity, not only in that college hoop stream, which I know you don't care about basketball, but you just want to take care of me and Paisley, and it really means a lot. Thank you for coming in here late and getting us above goal, not only with you, but with Reflect and Captain as well. I appreciate you guys, Sarah, Megan, Cole, Reflect, Captain. The regulars, you guys mean everything to me. And again, it's all about just having that consistency and loyalty. And with the group that we have, I'm very proud of who we have a part of the group, and you guys mean a lot to me. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Again, we'll be live tomorrow for the Huskies and the Bruins, and we'll be watching the Tyson Fury fight, or Tyson and I don't even know why I said Fury, Tyson and Paul fight tomorrow as well, and with some of those boxing matches that will be on Netflix. And then we'll watch a little bit of boxing, watch a little bit of college football, and for some of y'all that are in the room, if you can make it, that would be great. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And I got one question for you. Well, you know, talk sports like us, your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.